Okay. Welcome back, everybody. When last we saw the Trollskull 6, you met briefly with Ritlock Brimstone at a Char fortress on the edge of Blackblood Lake. You made plans to cast Windwalk to speed your way across the vast ashen expanse of Fireheart Rise, making your way towards the Cathedral of Flame, home of the Flame Legion and headquarters of their Imperator, Gaheron Balefire. Attempting to cut the head off the snake, so to speak. On your way across the Cindercrest Mountains, you noticed what looked to be a Flame Legion outpost in some state of disarray. Bertie, in his cloud-like form, descended close enough to get a slightly better view of the area, and it looked pretty desolate. Searching around briefly, he determined that there were very familiar marks on the ground indicating the potential presence of destroyers, the magma and stone minions of the Elder Dragon Primordus. Our heroes decided that for better or for worse, they would leave that situation be, since there didn't seem to be any point in descending. There was no one there in obvious need of help, nor no obvious rewards to be gained from interference. You continued your way across the Cindercrest range, descending gradually down the other side, and as you begin to make your way into the foothills, growing ever closer to the vast, dark plain that makes up Fireheart Rise proper, you notice something else. A strange rock formation. A single stone spur jutting out from a wide mountainside, vaguely resembling a skull with a gaping maw. Columns of stone where teeth would be, and two large hollow impressions where eye sockets would be located. Out of curiosity, several of you descended once again to investigate, and you saw behind the pillars at the entrance of this cave a wide sort of entry area lit by the flickering and pulsing glow of firelight. You have now descended. I would say, for safety's sake, I think we probably covered this, but we'll say you're about 200 feet back from the mouth of the cave so that you can take your full minute to revert into your normal forms. The spell Windwalk is still in effect, so at your convenience you may shift again to cloud form, but it will take 1 minute of concentrated effort to do so. At the moment, you find yourselves amidst a tumbled pile of boulders and dried, blackened, shriveled trees and brush that conceal you from a narrow footpath that seems to approach the mouth of this skull-like stone edifice. How would you like to proceed?
So how far away are we from the entrance to this cave?
A couple hundred feet.
And we've already reverted. We've already taken the minute to.
Unless you would have liked to revert somewhere else.
No, that's fine. Birdie's like, well, anybody else seeing the kind of visage here? Anybody? Does it look familiar at all? Does it have enough detail to look familiar, or does it just look like the faintest skull?
Vaguely looks like a humanoid skull, so it doesn't have like a beak or horns that you can tell, and it certainly has very obviously been worked to some extent, but the craftsmanship is very crude, and you gather it was mostly a natural formation.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is why you come to Char Country. You don't come across these kind of things down near Lion's Arch, right? I mean, this is a stop worth making, you know? I mean, this looks cool.
The details could be a little bit more, like, striking.
Well, you know, you can't ask for too much. The Char are many things. Artists, you know, their creativity sometimes. Now in metalworking, I'll give them that, but you know, in other things. Um,
Oh, it looks like a skull.
Yeah, I don't think Char made
is-
this.
Have you guys, I guess Kala or Bert, have you heard anything? Like anything in your memory strike you about a skull cave? You know, rumors, folk tales,
Warnings.
maybe things we should know, like don't go in here, it's cursed.
Treasure.
I did once meet a man on the road to Lion's Arch who told me about a skull cave that was filled with precious jewels to the far reaches of the where are we, northeast, I think. um, so there's that.
And this seems to match the description. It is a cave.
Rena, it does seem to match his description as I can recall.
So did he just say it had precious jewels in it?
He did, yeah. He said I recall him saying that beyond a great and terrible foe, deep beneath the earth, lay a hoard of precious gems and books.
Books?
So, yeah, there was. He
Did
did
he-
mention something
There it
about books,
is.
I think, at some
Did-
point.
Did the foe he described sound like a dragon? Or are we talking like
No, it was very vague. It was dark and mysterious and shadowy, and you know,
well,
that's
if there could be important books, perhaps they could help us.
rare and important books. He did mention rare in that description.
Oh yeah, Grawl are known for their great love of books.
I,
Do you think maybe
I,
they're like Ascalonian tomes that were taken?
I
Or-
would not feign to know, but there's only one way to find out. And Bertie will
But
start
you'd
walking
feign knowing.
towards the
Well,
towards
I
the
think
skull
if the
cave.
opportunity to find lost knowledge, we should probably take this. It could be very valuable.
This is hazing.
Teacher will follow.
I start moving. I assume you break from your cover, get out on this footpath, and walk towards the cave.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
Galatar will
not
just kind of
fine.
like half skip behind Birdie.
This is just
Very
a cave,
excitedly
guys.
bouncing.
We kill literal dragons on like a weekly basis for the past like month. So
What is a skull cave to us?
what is a cave?
The
Can
dark dangerous foes
Petrie
are
at
dragging
least,
the
while we're walking towards, are we in like sort of like a valley or like a ravine-ish area? I guess she just wants to keep an eye out on the surroundings as we're sort of walking and like checking our backs and being like, does she see anyone or anything that is like
So that as you approach
suspicious?
this cave, think of like you've got a fairly steep, rocky, really barren slope to your left, going up, and then there's this outcropping of rock that sort of pushes forward on its own from the otherwise pretty uniform cliffside, and that's what kind of shapes like this, and it's sort of angled towards you. To the right, you can see the footpath goes into the cave, and the mountain itself sort of bends around to the right. And on the right side of the path, it just continues this sort of precipitous decline down into what looks like a pretty deep ravine. There's like a little trickle of water at the bottom, but it's mostly like really dry brambles and loose boulders. It's all sort of gray and stony. I will say with your passive perception, you notice that as you guys begin to make your way up the path towards the cave, you catch a flicker of motion to the right, high in the air over this drop, and as you turn to look, you see about 7 birds sort of circling lazily, not flapping, but riding the thermals. And as you continue, another 20, 30, 40 feet, you see that they are slowly descending.
Towards like the Skull Cave entrance, or like off to the side?
They're probably like 150, 200 feet up in the air, and probably 60 or 70 feet off to the right over this ravine. And they're just sort of like lowering in altitude. Keytree notices this.
Looks like maybe something's died over there in the ravine. See those birds? Could be some vultures.
They'll
That's-
probably
that's
be
all
in
she-
Are they
soon.
vulture size, or
Make a perception check.
the grande?
Do we remember how to make perception checks?
First roll.
All right. Yeah, no, they look about normal raptor size. They're definitely not sparrows. And the coloration on them is sort of like an ashen gray with a tuft of white around like a kind of like a feathery collar. And as they descend a little closer, as you continue to approach the cave, you see that they are indeed vultures. One of them kind of wheels out from the group a little bit and dives gracefully towards the path, and you hear like a faint cry, that sort of croaky hissing of a vulture as it lands on just this single gnarled branch sticking out from what looks like a long dead tree that's propped up against two boulders just off the right side of the path. And it just flutters to the edge of the branch there, gets a grip, and just starts to kind of preen its feathers, regarding you all casually as you make your way towards the cave.
I'd like to go look in the ravine. See what has their attention.
Make a, well, fucking
Brett.
fucking passive perception's 26. So yeah, you look over the fucking ravine, you don't see anything. It's just barren. There doesn't seem to be any signs. You do see like some loose bone, like maybe a
Some loose
marmox
bone.
or something had died a
Or-
long time ago. It's just like a couple of ribs sticking up from the rocks, and there's nothing else.
I'm sure it was.
Her.
Those are Goddard's teeth.
No, actually, I believe in Char Country. Correct me if I'm wrong, Carla. But I do believe that vultures are a good omen in Char Country. So I think this is
Yeah, it means you might get a free meal.
exactly. Or you could find untold riches in a strange cave.
And books.
And books, Bagalatar, don't forget books in there too.
I'm sorry, you guys have gone the wrong way at the books. They're back this way.
What? They're
You're
in the
going
cave.
where? Yeah, but we need to go towards the books. You're looking.
I know, but I'm just saying we just got a good omen.
Okay,
for
but the
books,
books.
so- Yeah, you lead the way, Galatar. That would be great.
For my Ollie's tier, I have the like beast speech of beast and leaf or whatever, and I have a limited ability to communicate with animals and plants. If I
At this point, you
could I?
see two more vultures wheel towards the path, screeching their way towards the skull, and one of them alights on either of the indentations where the eye sockets would be, and they just sort of flutter down in much similar way, and just sort of turn to look out over the path and start kind of preening at their feathers, shifting, watching you all approach.
Up the
Can I try and sort of
I
indicate,
don't
like
think this
asking,
is a
like
good sign.
danger towards the birds, being like, is there danger?
So there's one in a tree that you're passing by. It's maybe like 5-10 feet behind you, and then there are two ahead of you on the skull, kind of looking down over the entrance at you. Which ones are you addressing?
I'll address the
They're probably like the skull and the tree are maybe 80 or 90 feet apart.
I'll really just the one in the tree, the one that landed first,
Okay.
and just
its head snaps towards you, and its eyes lock onto yours. And you watch as its head just dips. Sort of shifts uneasily.
I'm not great at this because I haven't done it a ton, but it doesn't seem like these vultures are necessarily pleased about what's ever in this cave.
Well, I mean, there is a great and dark danger in there, as I.
We sure they're even vultures? Like,
I think it's because they can't read.
what if they're familiars?
Galato, I think
They
about
could
what
be
you said.
familiars. Do you think there's wizards?
Do you
If
think
there's
they're
the
seven wizards?
Lores in deep, old books. Of course there's gotta be wizards, Galatar.
Makes sense. We should probably hurry.
Or we could just kill them.
What
wanna
if they're
kill
not
the
bad
bird.
people? They could be good wizards. Good.
Oh no, I meant these familiars.
Oh, I wouldn't like
Hey,
it if you
hey,
killed
hey.
my familiar.
All right, I know we've been on the road a long time. All right, I know it's been a tough journey.
You're happy.
Okay, the birds are not familiars. We do not need to kill the
All
birds.
right.
I mean,
They're
there's an
gonna be
easy way to
fine.
tell.
It's no.
I
we
just
don't
pull
need
out
to-
my bow
Oh my god.
and shoot one.
God damn it!
Yes!
You've
Little
got the one in the
instigation.
tree and the two on the skull. Which one are you shooting at?
Holy shit.
The one on the tree.
They're gonna be so pissed.
Okay.
When this turns into the birds and they murder us all, I just want to remember this moment.
They're familiars. I'm gonna be so vindicated.
Almost allies. Almost.
Alright, hang on just a second.
God, Carla, what are you doing?
we have to double check. I mean,
And sorry, I was unprepared for this.
Don't have
didn't
your
think we were gonna
vulture stat
fight the
at,
birds.
at
I've
hand all
got
the
to pick
time,
up vulture
Ryan.
stat block.
So
Yeah.
that means maybe it was real.
Of
just
course
never
it was
expect
fucking
that.
real. I just
Noise.
told you all it's a real ass vulture.
Said
So
only
there
one way
aren't
to find
wizards?
out.
Find one hole in my plot thus far. It's a vulture. It's an omen for the great
hits. Go
fortune
ahead and roll
below.
your damage. Sorry.
Is
It
it
hits the bird. Oh fuck.
It's just 10 damage because there's no. I don't think there would be a sneak attack on that.
Jesus Christ.
So, you guys watch as Kala just says, you know, there's an easy way to find out. You knock an arrow, and as you pull, the bird turns its eyes wide and starts to flap up from the branch, and you let go. You guys watch this arrow just pass clean through the vulture. Like, the vulture's body offers very little resistance. It is pushed back from the tree, just like a foot, and begins to fall towards the ground, wings upward, and as it does so, you watch the body shift and become a much heavier humanoid
on.
shape that into the ground with a crunch,
Come on.
and just sort of like lies unmoving among some stones. You guys, as you look over the edge of the
It's not a
roadside,
familiar.
lying
There
there,
are wizards!
Kala, you see what looks like a rather gaunt, but pretty well toned, gray-skinned humanoid with a long, sort of elongated ape-like jaw and an overhanging forehead, what looks like tattered leather loincloth and a couple of armbands with red feathers on them, and like a leather headdress with similar kind of tattered, faded red feathers decorating them. And it's just sort of lying there with a hole in it, bleeding out a little. But you do, as you guys watch, you see the chest slowly rise and fall.
Okay, maybe he could be helpful. Oh, what about
I
the
did
other
not
two?
expect that.
Are these
As all this happens, you hear, and the other vultures just take off.
They leave?
Yeah, they just flutter back into the sky. You watch as they head towards the rest of the group that was circling down, who all sort of wheel away.
Oh shit, guys, we should help him. I feel bad
Hold on.
for
All
shooting.
right, all right.
He's gonna go
this
over
guy's
and,
in
no,
the
that's an
ravine?
oops. I didn't see
This
that
guy's
one
in
coming.
the ravine at this point, or
He landed amongst some boulders, so he hasn't tumbled down the hill. He's about 10 feet from the road.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe 5 feet lower in elevation than you.
well, shit. I hit him with a. Oh, I don't have a healing word anymore. Hold on.
Petrie's gonna yeah, she'll help him. She'll use a healing word on him.
Okay.
She feels really bad.
Oh,
You guys watch as Kitri kind of waves her hand and speaks the magic word you're well familiar hearing at this point. And there's a brief sort of shudder in the creature, and you watch as the wound sort of closes itself up. Very nice. And after a moment, the breaths become deeper, and it sort of raises its head up a little bit. You see these large, wide-set eyes, and small, tusk-like lower teeth from a sort of extended lower jaw. And it starts to like scrabble to its feet, and very quickly realizes it's on the edge of the ravine, standing on these boulders, and is looking at you all in wide-eyed panic.
Hey man, we're
I guess-
sorry.
I think
I
we
thought
just need
you
to
were a
make
real
space.
bird.
And it looks down and feels the closed wound and sees the blood. It doesn't seem to understand you.
We're bad.
Yeah, we just need to make space. It's kind of a wild animal, I think.
Yeah.
Let me speak. Grunting.
I mean, I can calm him down if we want to give him a little something to cut the edge here.
Maybe we just give him some space and continue on our way.
Yeah, what the fuck? Just like
You think we could ask him about the treasures? Just to see
Well,
if he would know where the
speak
boats and things were?
fucking vulture, Galatar. I didn't
Well,
think so.
no, but if you could do like, some motions or something, just kind of like indicate somebody reading maybe?
We just shot him with an arrow. I don't
that's
think
an
he's gonna
accident.
want to talk about like.
And he starts to kind of motion for you to go away, sort of huffing at you.
Do you speak Char? I'll ask him Char. You respond.
You see, like, it locks eyes on you, acknowledge.
Oh,
Sort of bares its teeth.
Are these the natives you were talking about?
Yeah, he probably lives
here,
here.
here. I'll handle it. My card. You
Oh,
you
for
take
fuck's sake.
this. If you need us,
Kind of takes
You
2 steps
have
closer to
this.
the edge and is
I'm just gonna kind of do the
crouches
little
down
like
and-
card flip onto the ground in front of him. You have that. It's
sort of jumps to the side a little bit, expecting an attack,
Alright.
and then when it sees the
No,
card kind of
that's
flutter,
fine.
it's just a piece of
looks
paper.
very
So,
confused.
all right. This doesn't really work with my skill set. So,
It points to the cave.
yeah.
Whoop whoop.
Wup wup. Yep.
Yeah.
That now I actually do recognize that word from the man in the road. That does mean treasure in books. Wup wup. Yeah.
Do you want me to cast comprehend languages so that we could at least understand?
I don't even think
this
it's
now?
necessary at this point. I feel
Oh,
like I've got a
okay.
pretty good grasp on it.
Growls and bares its
Yeah,
teeth
if you're
again.
sure.
And points at Kala.
Oh.
Flame. Ah.
Oh.
Yeah. In there, I point to the cave.
in the whoop whoop,
Flame.
Wup wup. Yeah.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah. Okay.
flaming,
Flame.
Flame in the wup wup.
So is it pointing at
Yeah.
Kala or pointing at the cave when it says flame?
Pointing at Kala when it says flame.
Ah.
We're gonna bring some flame.
Not flame? Not flame.
Make a persuasion check, Alatar.
Sure.
Lord.
Joke's on you, boss. Let's see. I think I have a +4 now.
Hey, it's
Oh,
not bad.
+5. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, would you consider him to be a dwarf?
No.
As if not, it's a 17.
What do you have that has it? Oh, the dwarf. You're right. The bell.
Bell's a dwarf
What do we
guy.
have as a dwarf? No.
I just never get to interact
17.
with dwarves. They're all gone.
Yeah. So yeah, no, 17. You see for a minute like he's crouched down and he's got his hands gripping the stone, and you see his body posture kind of release a little tension. No flame. And points at Kala.
No flame.
No.
And it kind of like watches you all very intensely as it puts one hand forward and kind of like begins to, on all fours, kind of hunched, kind of crawl its way forward a little bit towards the edge of the road. It goes like 5 feet and it stops. And it is just watching every movement. Comes a couple of feet closer. You see it's sort of like gaining confidence. Its body language getting a little less tense each time it stops and takes your measure. It scrabbles the last couple of feet and it kind of like squats in a hunch at the edge of the path, maybe 10 feet away from you. And it points to the cave. Oh. Whoop.
Yeah, treasure and books, we got that. The
What?
flame. You don't have any treasure or
He's
books. I'm
treasure
sorry
and
to hear
books.
that. I'm getting it, Galatar. He doesn't have any treasure or books, but there's some in
But
the
he
cave.
just said. He said he's treasure and books.
No, he said he does. He shook his head. He doesn't
Starts
have
to
treasure or books.
gather up
Oh.
some loose stones, like the size of golf balls.
Yeah, those are
Just, like,
not.
picking them out
Those
of
are
the ground
not
and
what.
gathering them together.
Not what. Not what. There. No.
It looks very confused. It points to this cluster as maybe 10 little pebbles or like stones, none of them bigger than a golf ball, and says, "Whoop."
10,000 gold pieces.
And then it
Oh
picks
my
up
God.
one of them, gestures to it, and then to itself. Whoop.
Well, I mean, you
Buck-doop.
can have a share, but I mean, that seems a little excessive.
Buck two. Whoop.
He was losing me there.
Buck
I
two.
can start casting comprehend
What?
languages, Bertie. Maybe he's telling us where the treasure is because he wants to share it with us.
I think
Well, I
he's
don't know if
telling
I
us
wanna
there
share
are
this
char
treasure.
in the cave,
What?
and he got kicked out.
Oh, really?
Well, now, where did you get that from, Kala? That seems really outside the box.
Yeah, Bertie said he was saying he was treasure, but not treasure.
There are char tracks going into the cave. The Grawl are out here looking like vultures. Probably trying to
Oh, that's a
hide.
good point. Maybe the Char heard about the treasure from your friend, Bertie.
I can't believe you'd betray me like this. That was said in confidence.
But you're just gonna have to wage like a war against him now.
I'll have to find him. Turn his
I
brain to
mean, if he
scrambled
told the
eggs.
Flame Legion about it, he's dead.
Fair point.
They would have killed him already, so...
So, you, Octu. You,
Buck two.
me, Brina.
Brina.
Yeah! Octu,
Buck two.
Brina.
Whoop.
Whoop.
Finally, someone she can communicate with.
Whoop. Brina's gonna like gesture to everybody in her group. Whoop.
No.
Whoop.
Is that gonna be your new word
Whoop,
for
whoop.
the adventure, Brina?
Whoop. Cave.
Oh.
Yeah, treasure in the cave, Brina.
Wait, so you're wop? Like wop?
Two.
Walk to.
Talk to.
Wop.
Keep
Bok
it.
two.
Bok to.
B-O-K.
Wop.
To you.
That's Bok 2. The Wop is in the cave.
But is
It's not
Baktu
that
also a
big.
wop wop?
He gestures to the collection of stones. Wop wop. And then
Yeah.
picks up one, points to himself. Walk two. Wop wop. Puts the stone back amongst the others.
I
Gestures to
think
all the
he's
stones.
saying he's one of the wop wop.
Wop wop.
And 10
I think maybe they live in there. Are we sure that maybe these creatures aren't the great and terrible danger, Bertie?
Not that great or terrible.
Oh my god.
I mean, college is kind of one off this.
I don't.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
guys
think we
stay
should.
fucked up.
I don't want to kill any of these. I think. Yeah.
Well, there's char in there
Yeah,
for us
we're
to
gonna kill the
Kill.
char.
We're just looking to explore here.
Fuck to. You whoop whoop.
Mm-mm.
Like point at the cave.
Wop wop.
Whoop whoop from the cave. Whoop
Mm.
Wop wop.
whoop whoop.
And he starts to kind of gibber. You hear words tumbling out of his mouth, but none of you speak the language, and it's very guttural. Wop wop. Nip chabuk. Nip chabuk yuki.
This This language isn't Ignon, is it? That's the only
It is
language
not.
on here. Okay. Oh no, I don't know what he's speaking.
Baktu. And Galator will kind of point at Kala and then point at the cave. Like fire, flame cave? Or no?
He sort of makes a gesture with his hands, and you see that a little flickering flame conjures in the palm of his hand.
Whoa.
Flame, flame. Points at the cave.
Oh.
We fight flame. We help.
Fight, flame.
Yeah.
Yeah, we help. We help you.
He wants
Help.
us to
Whoop,
fight
whoop.
flame.
Yeah, we help Popo.
And he starts talking again. And it just sort of
Now
rambles
this
on
part
and
I
on
do
and on.
understand. We'll take 70%. Wup Wup gets 30%. That's the best I can offer, unfortunately. And I know it's tough, but
Well, if we're doing contract negotiations, we probably should comprehend his language just to make sure. You know, I don't want to
Yeah,
like screw him out of
this
his.
is
He
that's
kinda, like,
exactly what we're gonna do,
nods
Galatar.
at you,
Put your
Kala.
morals aside.
Says in char.
Ooh.
Hungry.
Sure. I reach into my bag, pull out some dried meat, and hand to him.
Yeah, probably want some water too.
Very trepidatiously kind of reaches out and snatches it from your hand and backs up a little bit, still squatting, and starts to tear at it with his oversized jowl.
I'm just gonna start moving towards the cave.
Yeah, I think we can do this. Wup Wup. Wup Wup. Yeah. And we'll continue on now.
Bye, Baktu. We will be back. And then
We
you
fight flame.
whoop whoop can have your whoop whoop back.
I'm glad that it was Kala and not me that hit you.
Another
don't hit me.
stream of words just sort of tumbles out of his mouth. Whoop whoop, flame, fight, Ichikchime, Neokosohana, and just keeps kind of tumbling out words as you guys walk away.
Oh, I
Put my fist
don't
up.
want to comprehend what he said. I mean, he seems very animate.
I mean, it's pretty clear that I'm fluent in whoop whoop now, so.
Oh, okay. So you did understand.
Yeah, Galatar, it seems like you're the only one who doesn't have a grasp on what he's saying right
Well,
now.
I don't understand what he's saying, and his language is very interesting. I just
It's a
feel like he's got a
70-30
lot to say.
split. There's treasure and books in the cave. There are, Fire Flame Legion Char in there, and
I want to whoop whoop their ass.
we're gonna whoop up.
whoop their ass.
I mean,
damn
that
Oh,
it.
is that why they call themselves Whoop Whoop? Is that what he told you?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
And his
Okay.
mother's name is Denise. So there's that.
Okay, I know his mom's name's not Denise. That wouldn't make sense culturally. His name's
That is very
Baktu. Why would his
rare.
mom's name be Denise?
And who are you to judge, Galatar?
son of-
I'm
Honestly,
just
that
saying
is
culturally
very
this
rare.
does not make a lot of sense. I'm not stupid, Bill.
Okay, well, it's not your culture, so maybe.
Yeah, I was trying to learn about this culture and you wouldn't let me talk to him.
They're gonna hear us coming.
Yeah, as we walk into this
At this
cave.
point, you guys hit these stalactites at the entrance of this cave. There are 3 large pillars of stone that sort of obscure your view, but there's a pretty wide space between each one. You can see this wide entry area, steep walls behind, and there appear to be 3 passages out. The one to the left is brightly lit by a slowly pulsing glow of orange and red. The center is much dimmer, and it seems like there's a small channel, almost like where water would have run, but it's just black, and it looks like stone. And it seems to rise up above the height that you can see, and you can see it sort of disappear into the darkness. It's just the faintest deep red glow. There's no brighter yellows and oranges. And then to your right, what looks like almost a natural kind of stair-like change in elevation as levels of stone lead up to another passage that sort of winds out of view through a narrow, 5 or 6 foot wide corridor that continues around to the right.
Before we continue on, are we still thinking that after we deal with these char, we still want to try and head to the Flame Legion's main stronghold today, or are we thinking we will probably rest afterward?
See how we're looking. Yeah, I mean, if it takes a lot out of us, I'm not gonna bust into this Flame Legion stronghold like today, but if it's if I just have to do a little bit of hand waving and just get him with my natural
Right,
guile,
we just
then-
might melt them with some cantrips and be done.
Yeah.
Okay, I
It's
was
just
trying
a
to
little
decide.
basic flame legion.
So we don't need to prep, you don't think, well, for these stuff? Like, I don't need to prep much?
I've never prepped much for anything in my life.
I mean, like I'm
Okay, you know what? I'll be
We're
better
not in a
safe than
hurry.
sorry.
Sounds
We-
like
I'll
a
we
just
just
take a
rest
minute and
after.
go ahead and cast Foresight on myself. Just to be prepared. Why not? Probably like 1 charge.
I just
Fine.
want the nuke ready, is what I'm saying. Like, I just want it. I just want the.
Just
I just want the
flip the
button
cover
in case
up.
I need to press it. Like,
I want to rub my finger on the button.
Sometimes that's what you gotta do. Alright.
I was gonna cast like a level 2 spell, but 9's good.
Why not?
You're,
We can
you're
sleep.
currently standing just outside the sort of teeth formed by these pillars of stone. What is your marching order? How do you guys proceed in? And what does that look like?
Galantor, I'd say lead the way. There's bound to be lots of books
do-
in there.
Well, do you want Kala to lead the way since she's kind of like stealthy and good at scouting? I mean, I'll follow right behind, but I'm not like the most perceptive or stealthy.
Yeah, I can go first.
You would.
I can follow up the rear just to make sure Baktu doesn't get any crazy ideas. Just kidding. He seems okay.
Yeah. I'll be in front of Rena.
that way your rear will be safe, Birdie.
That's right. Yeah. If Baktu steps up, Brina's gonna fucking demolish him.
There's one thing I'm keeping an eye on. It's Bertie's rear.
Right?
No
And
worries.
we got Galantor and Kala in the front, so I'm just here to keep everybody looking good.
Okay. Kala. You enter the entryway, you pass through the teeth. Alright. Are you being stealthy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not invisible, but trying to be quiet.
There's no real need to roll your stealth, since you can't roll below, what, a 26?
27.
No, excuse me. Yeah, you pad silently through these stone pillars. You find yourself in a pretty wide cavern, and you can see much more clearly now. There's an opening to your left, and it's just left of center. Like it's fairly close. It's maybe 30 feet away from you. and it also has like a steep rise. But you can see clearly there is a good-sized chamber behind it that is well brightly lit by this brilliant sort of yellow-orange glow, and you can hear the sort of deep, grumbling, bubbling sound of molten stone. You are instantly kind of transported back, having heard this sound quite frequently near your hometown of Coalhearth. This is a frequent occurrence in Fireheart Rise, where nodules of molten rock kind of bubble and ooze their way from the surface. Just across the way, kind of center, is a sort of channel that runs back into another smaller cavern that's much dimmer, kind of a deeper red of light. And then off to the right, there's a rise that sort of naturally goes up into a narrow tunnel that sort of leads off and around the right and kind of hooks out of sight. Looking around, you don't see any creatures.
Are there any footprints in here?
You have expertise in survival?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, there are a number of tracks. You can see several Grawl tracks, and it looks like there are like many older tracks. Like this is a pretty frequent trafficked area by Grawl. But you do notice the tracks of several heavy char. And also what looks like marks where something heavy has been dragged across the ground, like whole lines where the earth has kind of been disturbed.
I will follow that.
Okay. That peels off to the right. That leads to the narrow tunnel that rises up and then proceeds along to the right and kind of dog legs left out of sight. You're gonna go that way?
Yeah, that seems most interesting.
Okay. Did you communicate anything to the group? You just start heading in that direction?
We just start heading that way?
Alright, you guys watch Kala kind of slowly and stealthily make her way into this entryway, kind of take stock of what's going on. You see her check all the corners and sights. You see her listen. You see her nose twitch a little bit as she sniffs the air. You watch as she starts to investigate the ground and then locks onto something interesting and begins to move off to the right. What do the rest of you do?
I'll follow like 20 feet behind Kala.
Okay.
And I'll go ahead and cast my Mage Armor on myself as well.
Okay. Now the rest of you, I assume, follow Galatar. Right, Brina bringing up the rear. Birdie in front of her. Alexa and Kitri, I assume, between Birdie and Galatar.
Mix in the middle.
Alright. You guys also see this pretty high cavern, and these three entrances, or three exits, I suppose. Kala, you begin to make your way up the sort of natural steps formed by the stone. It almost looks like magma had poured out of this cavern at one point and cooled, forming a sort of rippled, descending stair. You begin to make your way up that stair. The tunnel kind of narrows to just a little bit beyond your width. It's a pretty tight fit. It's only 5 or 6 feet wide, especially with all your weapons. You follow it up a little bit, and you reach a point where it's just about to dogleg to the left, and you can kind of see that it turns in almost like a C shape, and it's going to almost double back on itself. You can see now the very bright and slow, very fluid pulse of light from a pool of magma. And on the ground at your feet, on the left side of the passage, is a small vent about 6 inches wide that is just spewing a little column of steam. as you get near, you kind of smell like a sulfurous scent in the air.
Does it still seem like there's, I guess we smell the sulfurous scent. Does it still seem like there's good airflow? Like as we're moving deeper, is it like getting very, very
does.
strong?
Well,
Okay.
you can feel the heat where you are. It is noticeably warmer in this cavern than it is outside. The air is kind of thick with this acrid sort of sulfurous smell. It's a little more faint in the entryway, but as you guys follow Kala up into this tunnel, the scent gets much more pungent. Kala, as you're near this steaming vent, it's pretty potent. You can still breathe, but you do also notice, because most of your passive perceptions are stupidly high, that there's a decent flow of air. There's a slight breeze. It's a bit warm, but there is air movement through this passage, indicating that somewhere in this cave system there is probably cracks or vents or something that allow air to cycle through.
Just keep going.
Okay. As you pass by this steam vent, you catch the faint sound of voices. Do you continue?
Can I tell what they're saying? I'll stop and listen for a couple seconds.
Do you have expertise in perception?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, of course, because it's like 26. Yes.
26, yeah.
So you hear the sort of garbled, grunting voice of a Grawl, projecting fairly well, but muffled a bit by this sound of bubbling, molten rock. And you hear it kind of going on for a bit, and then you hear the voice of a male Char, sort of shouting out above the ambient noise of the cavern that says, "Mountain, weak, flame, strong. Wup wup, no follow. Wup wup, burn." And then you hear words in Char, and hearing your mother tongue spoken by a male of the Flame Legion, that makes you feel as you decide it makes you feel. But there is a moment where flashes of memory come back to shamans preaching the word of balefire, and you hear at this point the rest of you are kind of in. I assume you're continuing to get closer to Kala. You see she's stopped by this steaming vent just a little past it. Do you close the gap, or are you waiting?
If I hear her stop, I'll wait like 15 feet back from her and go ahead and like draw my sword.
Do we have the telepathic bond thing still?
Yes.
Okay,
I was
remember if that
just
was
about to
forgot.
bring that up. Yeah.
Do you say something to your friends?
Yeah, I'll let everybody know that I can hear Char speaking.
Okay. And I would say at this point, as you guys kind of close the distance, and Galatar's about 15 feet back, and the rest of you kind of line up in order behind him, because it's a single file passageway. You can all hear this male Char's voice as it picks up over the din. But Kala can understand Char. I don't know if any of you does Birdie speak Char?
Yeah,
So you
I
guys
got
hear words spoken in the Char language, which is an odd language because sometimes they use inflections that go subsonic, kind of like lions. So Char ears can pick it up clearly. With study, humans can kind of intuit. It's almost like reading ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs that don't use vowels. Like you can kind of pick up the context, but you hear the words Bali Chahoge, Bali Makti Gaheron. Muktidegi Gaheron. And Kala and Bertie, you recognize you will be sacrificed. Gaheron wants an offering. Gaheron brings salvation.
At this point, I will pull out my bow and then go invisible.
Okay.
And say to everyone, they're gonna throw the Grawl in the volcano. And I'll start moving forward.
Are you going stealthily, I assume?
Okay, so you
So-
move forward. Do you want me to follow you? Do I have to whisper in my mind? Probably not. Kala, do you want me to follow you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. So, Kala, as you sort of round this curve in the passageway, you can see that it does almost double back on itself. Not quite, but it's a fairly sharp turn. And as it opens, you still don't see the char, but you see this passageway kind of descend a little bit after having risen into a wide cavern with a pretty expansive pool of molten rock, several places around it giving off these columns of sulfurous steam. Continuing forward, you reach the end of this tunnel, and you can see to your right the cavern sort of opens out ahead of you, and across the pool you see 4 Grawl sort of standing awkwardly clustered at the mouth of what looks like another tunnel that leads further into this cave system. In front of them stands more regal looking Grawl, if you would call it that, with a high headdress on and sort of bangles of what looks like bone and shell. Between you and the Grawl, there are 2 Flame Legion warriors with swords drawn, just sort of standing guard. On the opposite side of the cavern, 2 more of them. Standing between the guards and opposite of the Grawl, against a massive column of stone that kind of holds up the high ceiling of this chamber. It's about 40 feet up. You see what looks like almost like a wicker man made of strips of iron, but it's about 15 feet high, and sort of suspended in it by chains is another Grawl. Standing directly in front of him, its forearms glowing with molten light, its fur black, even the tips of its horns kind of glowing a little bit like cinders, is a Char shaman. As he says, Gaheron, Gaheron, Gaheron Shaktide, Ali Chadao Tereage, Slikar Karo. You all hear this, and Bertie and Kala, you hear, Gaheron, give me power. I offer sacrifice before you. Please accept. You watch as it jabs its hand in and rips out the heart of this Grawl, holds it in the air and turns around to face the other Grawl. As the Flame Legion Char shout and like clash their swords and shields together, and the shaman says, Absike, Jahan Mera Mutimenhe, which translates to, I hold his life in hand. Bali Jahado, Bali Jahado, Bali Jahado. And he starts to chant this rhythmic, and the other Char take up the chant, and you watch as the heart is engulfed in flame, and the steel effigy behind him combusts suddenly and is filled inside with flames that flicker through these strips of iron.
Wop, wop, wop.
What have we done?
Bali Chadhado,
Whoa.
meaning sacrifice him.
Oh my god.
I will tell everyone 4 guards and 1 god forged, and then I'm gonna shoot him.
All right.
You say
Real
God
quick.
forged?
Second.
I have a question.
Okay.
The Grawl are not the creature we saw outside, correct? Like that is a
Yes.
separate.
That's a
Oh, they
Grawl.
are.
They are Grawl.
Okay.
Grawl.
Okay. Because I know you mentioned them before. I just wasn't clear if who we encountered outside was a Grawl or not.
Crawling.
He was a
in
Grawl.
my skin.
Oh,
You guys didn't really
what?
take a minute to talk about that.
Yes,
So,
we
but yes, he
I
is a
thought
Grawl.
they were just wop wop.
So,
That's awful, Looney.
Hey. You're right.
I would like
I'll keep
you all
going.
to roll initiative, please.
I'm gonna cut my wrists
Oh,
now.
That's fucking crazy.
okay. And they said it was bad to use my 9th level spell. Joke's on you. My initiative's 15 better than it would have been.
Oh, it
Come
says
on.
that tracker.
Yes.
Oh, hang on. Oh shit, I'm
A
sorry.
whole
guys.
month, my initiative. I still can't get double digits.
That's right. You're
Sorry.
consistent.
I'll put your
Oh.
values in. I'll move you over to the map. I forgot to do it.
Wait, so where?
You're south.
Oh, okay. And where is Kala seeing all the? Did she tell us which direction
it'd be
she's
here.
seeing?
To the
She's-
right, so it'd be down here.
Okay, so it's down. Gotcha. Okay. Cool, cool, cool.
12, 30 updates. 12. Alexa. 9.1. Kala.
That shitty ass initiative.
18.2.
I feel like all my notes for the past like 3 sessions have been like, Call is so cool. Call it kicks ass. Just,
Okay.
all my notes are bad, but I'm like, damn, that was awesome.
Alright,
The
so you
rest
guys
of
kinda
us are
wanna see
just
the map?
useless.
Okay. Let's see. Again, so
Can't say she's not goal oriented.
I will say they are surprised. So Galatar, Kala, do you say anything to your party before you pull the? You just say where they are.
Yeah, I tell them how many enemies there are.
Okay. So I will say everyone's kind of taken a little bit by surprise as Kala fires a shot invisibly without
Mhm.
warning. So Kala, go ahead and make your attack roll. And who are you firing at? The shaman?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a critical.
He's
Now,
dead.
He
He's
is
gone.
75 feet away. Is that a disadvantage?
Yeah, my range is 80.
Oh!
He's dead.
Nice.
He's dead. Not in this house.
Nice.
This not in Kala's house. This is her house now. Not,
105 damage?
he's
Oh
dead.
my god.
He's just gone from this existence.
Looking
Magical
cold-hearted.
damage.
She now holds his life
How,
in
how
her
much was that
hands.
again?
105.
105? Jesus.
Obliterated.
So this, you watch as the shaman turns, and now as the effigy is lit up with flame, he turns and you can see his flesh wreathed also in flame. As he turns, showing off this burning heart, your arrow whistles through the air and just pierces directly through his torso, and he staggers back into the effigy with a shout. He is looking rough, but he's still kicking. Do you move or do anything else on your turn?
I will move just like a little to try and get out of the way.
Oh.
Just
Yep,
pause.
game's paused. There you go. Okay.
That's it.
Right. Them being surprised. There is just a general shout, like a cry of alarm. The shaman sort of like staggers back into the effigy, grabbing at his wound. You see like his molten hand grabs the arrow and sort of just turns it to ash as he pulls part of it out, leaves part of it in. But he's grabbing the wound. You can see like the flesh kind of sizzling a little bit as he looks frantically around the cavern. The rest of the guards are now like on alert, looking around, trying to figure out what's going on. The Grawl just sort of cower back into their cave tunnel a little bit behind them to the south. And that will bring us back to the top of the round. So at that, the Flame Legion guards are going to spread out a little bit. Seeing the direction the arrow came from, they are going to position themselves a bit better. There we go. And I think they... they're gonna hold the attack action, or ready the attack action. And that will bring it to Galatar. You can hear Kala's claws sort of scrabble as she moves forward. You can kind of see her footprints.
I'm gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20 to try and get here and get an angle of sight. Oh, that thing is really big.
Yeah, there's a pretty wide pool of magma before you. You see there's a path that goes to your left, goes north around the pool.
Okay, do you see that?
It's about 20 feet across to the south from where you are.
Okay. It's so stupid. I'm going to bonus action Blade Song. And then, just for the sake of teleporting, without having to use my free bonus action teleport, I'm going to cast at 5th level a Steel Wind Strike, so that I can teleport to the other side in the same turn. And I will attack this guy who is the only person within 30 feet of me.
Okay.
He is exactly 30 feet away, so I will teleport right here. Actually, can I teleport to this side of him? Could I like stand in this rocky area? Or is that difficult terrain-ish?
It would be difficult, right? That stone is probably about 5 feet high.
Okay, gotcha. Well, in that case, I'll just go.
I mean, technically, you could stand on it because he would be 5 feet lower diagonal to you. So yeah.
Cool. I'll take the high ground.
The Obi-Wan strategy.
Yeah, I'll take the high ground, and then I will roll to hit him. Get up all my d10s. Okay. All right, the higher of those was a 15 plus. Spell to hit now is plus 11, so 26 to hit.
That'll do.
All right, so d10. Or sorry, 4d12 rather. No, 6d10. This is Steel Wind Strike. All right, 5, 8, 16, 21, 26, 28, and oh, sorry, that was wrong. 35 total points of force damage.
Okay. He's looking really hard as you appear in the air above him and swing down with this this extra forceful blade. You just cut a wide rake across the front of his armor. You can see blood kind of pouring out onto the leathers. He howls in anger, but yeah, badly hurt, but still standing.
What are you gonna do? All right, that's all I got.
All right, and then he is going to use his reaction to try to hit you with his spear. That does not hit. That's a 9. All right, so that brings it back around to Kala.
I'm gonna shoot this guard.
Who gets nuked?
That'll hit. $32.
32.
All right. Yeah, another heavy hit. This time you can see like it pins through his shoulder and like the arrow embeds itself in the cavern wall. He howls and sort of rips his arm off the arrow as it passes fully through him. You can see there's this copious amount of blood, but some of the armor was able to absorb that. So he's badly hurt, but he is still standing.
I'll do my bonus action attack on this guy who's also hurt.
Okay. I forgot you get that.
Yeah, I almost forgot it too.
That'll hit.
50.
50.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah, Galatar, as you take that swing, you watch as that putt forms and it howls. It tries to jab at you with its spear, and even as the blow like reaches up towards you, you're able to effortlessly parry it. As it spins wide, it kind of turns back to you, just as an arrow protrudes from its chest. It just takes like an intake of breath, and looks very confused. Looks down at its chest, and just sort of slumps onto the ground. It is dead. With that, do you stay where you are, Colin? Okay. So that brings it to the shaman's turn. Shaman is going to flee. And okay. Yeah, you guys all hear just sort of like a muttered incantation from the other side of this pillar of stone. At this point, the Grawl, the tallest Grawl in the high headdress, sort of howls with rage of his own and rushes up to one of these Flame Legion guards. Is going to try to attack him. What now? Okay, so he is going to do attack with a spear. That'll hit. Attack with a spear again. It's a nat 1. So, then make a save. Okay. So you watch as this chieftain with a wooden shield kind of covered on the outside with painted hide with like red handprints on it and a spear rushes up to one of these Flame Legion, stabs it in like the back of the calf, and as the Flame Legion guy turns around, he pulls the spear out and he tries to hit it again. The blow is deflected, but he uses that opening to bash the guy with his shield. You can see that the Flame Legion's the warrior's face is kind of like knocked back. He's not facing you anymore, but you see the impact clearly. You see he kind of staggers but manages to keep his balance. And that'll bring it to Bertie's turn with Brina on deck.
Okay. We'll go 5, 10, 15 as I kind of squeeze around Kitri here. 20. Where is everybody? Am I just not seeing anybody yet? 5, 10, 15, 20.
Yeah,
25.
yeah. They're all to the south
30.
as the cabin.
Okay, there's a big guy. There's our big boy.
Yeah, as you turn, you can just see there's a dead char kind of lying just across the lava to the south of you. There's another one that's kind of pinned against the wall briefly as it tears itself free and is looking vaguely in your direction. And then behind it, Standing against the wall is this towering 15-foot high effigy of iron bands filled with flame.
Okay. And is it moving? Is it like animated, or is it just like a Burning Man kind of situation?
At the moment, it has not moved. It is just sort
Okay.
of standing there like a giant wicker man.
Okay. But there's this fella down here who's
Yeah,
seems engaged
badly
enough.
wounded.
Oh, badly wounded?
He is wounded and is looking towards you.
60 feet away. Badly wounded, you say? Oh, I'll just take a wrist rocket. We'll do like, wait a sec. You know what might be fun though? Hold on. I never get to use fun thing. Oh yeah, 60 feet. I'll use my wand of paralysis on him as I whip out my wand, and
Okay.
he needs to make a Constitution saving throw, if he would be so kind.
That is a 4.
He is paralyzed for 1 minute. Can repeat the save at the well, hold on. At the end of each of the target's turns, it can repeat the save.
Okay. Yeah.
And I would love to. Oh, we'll just call it there. Honestly, I think I'm gonna be all right. And is this molten lava here?
Yeah, that's lava.
That's lava. Okay.
You staying where you are?
I've used my action and movement. So I don't think I have a bonus action I want to spend right now.
Okay. Alright, that brings it to Brina with Alexa on deck.
Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, I will use my bonus action. I didn't, because this is once a short rest. I might as well. I'll go ahead and start my Unbreakable Majesty, where I assume my majestic presence, and anybody that tries to attack me has to make a charisma save.
Okay.
Yeah, as Bernie like pulls this wand out, lashes this guy with the paralysis, and then like takes his hair tie and like throws it into the lava below.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, that's where I'm at.
Incredible.
Alright, Brina.
Brina's just gonna. Oh, excuse me, pardon me. We're all our friends here. 5, 10, 15, 25. Is this square like.
We'll count it, yeah.
Okay, cool. 25. 35.
Sorry, Brina, I'm in the way. You've gotten in the way of my dramatic pose.
Where is everyone? Where is
They're
it?
down. They're down south. You're not around the edge yet, I don't think.
Not yet. Yeah, they're all down this way.
Down, way down.
Alright, well, that's 40 feet of movement here. Oh, there these bitches are. This is very scary. I'm gonna say it. I didn't realize how much I didn't like that. That was 40 feet of movement. I hate being in between. Do I gotta jump across the lava here, or can this be scaled?
You can certainly try to shimmy sideways on the uneven cave wall.
Come on, man.
Give us that Brina shimmy.
It would be climbing, so it's going to be difficult terrain.
Wait,
You
I
don't
have my
have
boots of
winged
flying
boots?
on. I think. I hope I have my boots of flying on. That'd be so on brand for me. I do have my boots of flying on. Awesome. Damn, these guys are scary, huh? Well, that's my 40 feet of movement.
Take your action to dash. Bonus action to rage.
Yeah.
Bonus action to transform.
Yeah. Use my action to dash, and I'll be up those little winged boots on. And just land next to Galatar. I know the man is dead. This is kind of a waste of a turn, but at least I'm over here. And I will use my bonus action to rage. What are these? What's this guy?
All right.
Oh. Okay.
That will bring it to Alexa.
Can I squeeze this way?
Not that way.
Okay. So 5, 10.
You can go through Keytree.
Yeah, 5, 10.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
15, 20. And as I get to Birdie, I'll give him a little slap on the shoulder and be like, "You always look very fabulous, Birdie. And me too." And I cast Fly on both of us.
Okay.
And then I'll just end my turn 5 feet in the air over here.
Okay.
Oh, used to be able to set height, but I guess an
I
update can't set height anymore.
appreciate it, Jimmy.
I gotcha.
You're welcome. I figured we are the two most terrestrially stuck people.
You'll see on the next turn. It's all good.
All right. Well, I'm glad I could enable.
Okay. So, at this point,
I don't like this.
the effigy, with a groan, comes to animate life and begins to move towards you guys. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Ba-boom.
Does it take half movement to come to life?
It does not. It was standing already. It is first gonna swing down with one fist and attempt to hit Galatar.
And that is with disadvantage.
Ah, thank you. Alright, I think that'll hit. Will it 22?
AC is currently 23.
Okay, that will not hit. Then it will take the other attack and attempt to hit Brina. That will hit. So Brina, as this massive iron hand filled with flame crashes down onto you, you would take 17 bludgeoning damage reduced to 8 because you're raging, and then 13 fire damage reduced to 6. Although I don't know if Brina is resistant to fire damage. I'll have to ask her when she gets back. Ooh, actually, it is gonna bull its way here. And as it enters Brina's space, I'm gonna need her to make a strength check when she gets back. And just sort of tramples its way over to you guys. And we'll cover that in a minute. So that will bring it to Keytree.
Sweet. I would like. I'm going to wild shape into a giant eagle.
Okay.
And that means I'll have a flying speed of 80 feet. Is Kala considered a large creature, medium? I just
She's a
want to know
medium
if
creature.
okay. I just don't think, would I be able to wild shape in the hallway where I kind of am, or do I need to take a few steps out?
I would say where you are, the passage has opened up wide enough that you can just barely fit. Because you don't physically fill a 10-foot cube. That's the area you control.
Okay.
But yeah, you can just fit in there.
Okay. And then I'd like to use my movement, and I'll go 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, these are, okay.
Chaotic scene unfolds before you.
That's Galatar. He looks almost identical to the little dude over here. I'll go out 5 more feet. I don't think I'm missing anyone, am I? Maybe? Hold on, I gotta zoom out. Oh, okay. Sweet. This map is pretty big. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna measure. Okay, well, I can't make it the full distance, but I'm gonna start flying across the, like, over the lava. If I can this round, could I try and pick up Alexa on my way? And
I wave you off.
She's
Okay.
5 feet in the air. She's flying.
Yeah.
Oh, she's flying. I don't think there's anyone, unless, and Birdie said he was taken care of.
He's flying.
All
too.
right.
I'm
Then-
also
How
fine, but I'm
high in
also
the
good,
air
yeah.
are you gonna fly as you pass over the lava?
Probably, like, how high is the cavern?
About 40 feet high.
I will get up like 20 feet. Like, I don't want to be
I just wanna make a
burning
note on your
myself
view.
on the, yeah. Okay. So I think I've moved 25 feet, 30, 35, 40, 50, 55, 60. I'm gonna be here. I'll just fly on my way over, and yeah, that will be my turn, I guess.
Okay. That brings it
I don't want to dash.
the Grawl warriors. They are gonna rush forward and kind of surround this other Flame Legion warrior. They're just gonna start going to town. So these 4 slightly smaller Grawl, each with their own sort of primitive flint-tipped spear, seeing their leader take on this other guard, start puffing each other up, and they run forward. They surround this other guard and they just start like peppering him with spear thrusts. You see, like one of them catches him a little bit. He takes a bit of damage, but this Flame Legion soldier is well trained, and it is just a almost beautiful dance as his blade counters most of their attacks.
They're dead and they don't even know it.
We'll bring it to the top of the round, where the Flame Legion warrior will strike back. This is, let's see, what does he have? Okay.
And at the end of his turn, that one soldier gets to try and remake his paralysis save.
Thank you. Ooh, he crits on one of these guys. Takes him down. Interesting. And then he's gonna make another spear attack. Does not hit. And that's another crit. Man, that guy rolled real well. It's not. Second. Well, doesn't matter. 5, now the one engaged with the Grawl chieftain is going to attempt to hit him. That's a nat 1. Does hit. I believe that does not hit. All right. So the Grawl chieftain holding his own as they kind of battle back and forth. He is going to move a little bit to reposition himself. The other guy's dead, and this guy gets to remake a Constitution save. That is an 8. He remains paralyzed. So Keitra, you see this Flame Legion warrior directly on the ground in front of you. It's like mid-stride. His eyes are wide as he looks across the lava, but he appears to just be kind of like twitching, and he cannot move. He is paralyzed. That will bring it to Galatar.
There was a strength saving
Did the
throw
flame
or
guy go?
something you were coming back to.
Oh, Brina. You stepped away. Took some
Yes.
damage.
Great.
Are you resistant to fire damage? Specifically, like I know you are from rage, but do you have an item that gives you that also?
Bear totem and rage are just the two things that give me
Okay.
fires. Oh, and the Frostbrand Greatsword.
So that gives you resistance to fire damage?
Yes.
Excellent. Alright, so you would take 8 bludgeoning damage. That's after it's reduced. That's the total.
Okay.
Fire damage would have been 6. It's reduced to 3 because you have the extra fire resistance.
Okay.
I also need you to make a strength saving throw.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're good. So this massive 15-foot tall iron effigy filled with flame comes over and just stomps its way on top of you and crashes a hand down on you. But you manage to hold your feet as you sort of deflect the energy of that blow, and it does not knock you prone.
Okay.
Thank you, honey. That brings it to Galatar, and then Kala's on deck.
Okay, did this fire guy over here need to go with his buddies, or is he on different initiative?
That's
Because I
the
think he went
shaman.
before. Yeah, did he? I thought
Yeah,
he went
no,
before I came over last turn.
Not before you came over
Oh, okay.
last turn, no.
Okay,
He goes
gotcha.
after Kala.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm gonna move 5 to... Actually, I don't need my bonus action. So I'm gonna... no, I'll move there. I think that is... Still within melee? It just...
You gotta
Oh.
get 5 feet closer for melee.
Yep.
His token's a bit oversized because he's big boy.
Sorry, I see there. Let me make sure I don't need to move out of his melee range. That works. Hey, perfect. They all 5 are within 30 feet. So this time I'm gonna try Steel Wind Strike again, but this time hit all 5 enemies.
Do you have to see a creature to do that?
I do, but I can see this guy.
I know
Currently.
you can.
Okay.
I fudged the walls so that it's easier to see around the
Hey.
cavern, but technically he is hidden behind that.
Got you. Well, then I'll risk the attack of opportunity. Well, I guess I don't know if I know he's there, but wait, I would have seen him move there because he wouldn't have already been there before
You
I got
saw
over
him like
there.
head back that
Cool.
way.
Then I will take the risk of being attacked with an attack of opportunity to try and get line of sight on that guy. Would you say there gives me
Yes, there you would
line of
see it.
sight? Okay.
The
So it'd be
effigy-
23 to hit at disadvantage.
Yeah, he does not hit.
Okay. And then I will, now I can see all 5 within 30 feet. So now I will do Steel Wind Strike. And I'll start with the effigy and go counterclockwise.
Okay.
Okay. So the first one is 21 to hit.
The effigy that will hit.
Okay. That is 13. Is that a 1? Yeah. 14, 16, 19. Ooh, not great. 22 points of force damage to the effigy.
Okay. Now you bamf up beside him and swing your blade. You hear clang as it hits against him, but you watch as some of the steel kind of buckles under the pressure as you bamf away.
Cool. And then I'm going to attack the one fighting the chieftain. guy.
Okay.
So 25 to hit and 25 to hit.
That'll hit.
And that is a 10, 11, 16, 23. 20. Whoops, I did this wrong. 10, 11, 16, 23, 31. Ooh, that was much better. 38 points of force damage.
Okay. He is badly hurt. You bamf up behind him as you push the sword. It just skewers him right through. And you rip it out. You can see that there's just this trail of viscera. As he staggers back, he manages to keep his feet, but he is badly hurt.
Nice. And then I'm going to go for the one fighting the 4 guys and just try and kind of get a good stab in while he's focused on them. All right. And okay, 25 to hit again. And that is a 13, 17, 25, 31. Ooh, 40 points of damage on that one. Nice. Okay.
40?
40 points of force damage for that guy.
All right, another heavy hit. Just slash right down the front as he goes to step over the dead body of one of these Grawl and turn to the side. You catch him as he turns. He doesn't even see you coming. Just slash right across his face. He's now got his wicked scar from ear to ear.
Nice. All right, then I'm going to go for the one that's I can see, but it looks like he's using mirror image, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
So do you roll for that before I rolled a hit, after I rolled a hit? I forget how that works.
You go ahead and make your attack roll.
Okay. So the attack roll is a 26 to hit.
All right, so I gotta roll 1d20. Okay. What'd you roll to hit?
26 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
And did you roll high enough that it hits him?
No, well, it's so that it hits one of the duplicates.
Okay, it hits one duplicate, so I don't need to roll damage, right? Because it just takes out the duplicate.
Yeah. You appear and you see that this now has like 3 illusory images of himself that are kind of shifting like a shell game.
Mhm.
But you manage to strike one of them and it just sort of vanishes in a puff of smoke.
Okay. All right. And then the last guy is paralyzed, so I'll do my attack again with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
23 to hit. Okay, so 23 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And then I
Automatic
believe
crit.
it's an auto crit. Yeah. So this will be plus
40
60 to whatever your roll is.
That's enough. He's
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Yeah, because I was a total of 93 damage. So cool. And then I'm gonna end my turn 5 feet behind the guy that the chieftain is fighting to try and give him advantage on his attacks to maybe try and finish that guy off.
Okay.
And that will conclude my turn.
All right. That brings it to Kala.
I would like to try to climb this wall to get across the lava.
Okay. That'll be an athletics check. And it's a
Okay.
fairly high DC, like relatively speaking. I would say it's a 20 to scrabble sideways across this. Ooh, just barely. And you have a climb speed, so you don't have difficult terrain, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so you are able to latch on with your claws and just side your way across this and land on the opposite side.
Okay. I want to shoot this guy first in the middle of the Grawl.
Okay. Yeah, that'll hit. That'll do it. Yeah, he turns around, he's like clutching one eye where Galatar slashed him across his face, and you put the arrow right through the other eye. It just tips over backwards. You see the 2 Grawl like trying to stab at him with their spears, they suddenly like jump back, not seeing where the blow came from.
And then I'll shoot the big guy.
Okay. Burning Effigy. 24 will hit. 41.
41.
Very nice. Your arrow
That's it.
manages to find a weak point between two iron plates in one of the knees, and see it kind of like buckle to the side as the weight of the creature pushes down on it, causing even more damage. That will bring it to the Godforged Shaman's turn. He is going to run up here. Keetra, you see this burning creature turn the corner, going full tilt towards you, kind of looking over his shoulder towards Galatar and the Grawl chieftain. As he reaches one hand out towards that lava pit and just cries out, Gaheron Shaktide!
Can I counterspell him?
He's not casting a spell.
Oh, dang it.
And as he sort of reaches out his hands, he makes a gesture of raising them up, and suddenly the lava in that pool sort of shifts as though disturbed, and two large, vaguely humanoid shapes emerge, dripping from the molten stone itself.
What? And who? That was this guy down here that's got the
shaman.
He's got like a mirror image thing going.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
He is going to. What is he going to do?
Well, that changes a few things.
Yeah.
He is then going to turn around.
Wow, what a coward.
And as he backs up here, he will use his action. As he moves his hands from side to side, you see he is gathering magical energy as he starts to speak an incantation. Now he is casting a spell.
Now I will counterspell.
All right.
Just at 3rd level.
He is going to counterspell your counterspell.
Damn it. He's too strong.
Shaman.
Wizard battle.
I lost. I can't reaction my reaction. What are you gonna do?
And this is.
Where am I?
Counter spell him.
Alexa, you can't counterspell him from over there, can
Oh, I can't even see him. I'm not seeing any of this shit.
These guys are very big coming out of the lava.
All right, Brina, it's up to you to counterspell.
Brina tries her hardest.
Unless the chieftain can counterspell.
She counterspells with a blade side of her sword.
She counterspells by chopping his fucking hands off.
There's only one spell I know.
You can't use somatic components if you don't have hands.
Right. It's really hard to do verbal components when she cuts your head off.
Okay. So as he waves his hands around, you see like sheets of flame erupt from the molten stone, and he just starts waving them around like putting icing on a cake, and there are just these sheets of fire that descend all around the cavern's edge in a C shape. I need Kitri, Brina, Kala, and Galatar to make dexterity saving throws. He just coats the whole area rather than be precise.
Do I use...
For
Because it's been a
dexterity,
while.
It'll be the Great Eagle.
Okay. That's what I wanted.
Fucking. Okay.
I guess I'm glad for my slow initiative.
Alright. Galatar, you take 12 fire damage. Brina, you, because you're raging, you would take 12. Because you're resistant to fire, you take 6. Keytree, unbelievably, as a giant eagle, passes the dex save. You manage to like wheel mid-air and avoid one of these gouts of flame. So you only take 12 fire damage. And Kala, do you have any resistance to fire?
No, but I have evasion.
Okay, so you would take 24. With evasion, it's 12. And you watch, like, as he's doing this, there is this gleeful grin on his face, and then as he looks to survey the aftermath, that glee turns immediately to fear.
Mm-hmm. I expect it would. I expect it would.
To the Grawl chieftain, who, seeing Galatar just peer behind the Char after running him through, vanishing, and then coming back, is shocked, but then raises his spear and shield in a shout of triumph and is going to rush toward that Flame Legion soldier. He does get advantage. That will
Don't let me
hit.
down, buddy.
And it only takes 1. He goes in and feints with his shield and then catches the Flame Legion like through the already open wound, just like puts his spear in the hole and sort of moves it around a little bit before pulling out some of his viscera. And then you see, like, he turns to the rest of his Grawl there, the 2 remaining, and just raises the bloody spear up and just, whoop, whoop. And they respond with a matched cheer of whoop, 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 whoop. That'll bring it to Bertie, with Brina on deck.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. Not yet flying. I'm keeping feet on the ground for the moment because I have waited too goddamn long for this moment. 5, 10, 15, 20. And you watch as the nipples on my armor begin to glow. And my Ifriti fire armor, I can walk across molten rock as though it were solid ground. And I am going to cast, now that I can see everybody, I would like
to use the item.
Okay.
You have to rub your armor's nipples to make this effect happen, or?
Have to is a strong term.
I don't think it's gonna get
Optional activation.
but I'll at least get. Oh shit!
40 feet.
Yeah, I had the thing. I was doing it right. Hold on, I can do this. I have a computer science degree.
He can learn. He can learn.
Okay. So, is there any place if we shift that up? Because I didn't realize it where the edges were. If we shift that up a little bit, is there any way we can get the lower half of this boy in that? No, because I want the shaman more. We'll get him. Okay. So we're gonna cast slow on them. They need to make a throw of some kind. Wisdom saving throw, please, if you would be so kind.
Okay.
It's a DC 19.
Wisdom. Okay, saving wisdom.
Where the hell did Galatar go?
Down.
Oh, I see.
way
Okay.
at the bottom.
A little too far for my blood. Yeah.
The shaman is slowed. Oddly, the burning effigy rolled a nat 20.
I'll take it. Okay, so I'm concentrating on that. And then I'll go ahead. You know what? We do not need a bardic inspiration at the moment. We are doing just fine. So, Yeah, I'll call. Let's see, how much did I move? That was what, 5, 10, 15. I'm gonna move a little bit more here. 20, 25. Yeah, there's okay, I think. I think that's all right.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be turn.
Brina and Alexa's on deck.
Wait, 1 sec. I'm sorry. So, what's my fly speed, Jimmy?
It is 60.
60. I want to, if I could I retcon that movement just there?
Yeah.
Because what I'll do is instead of moving that last 10, 15 feet, I'll go straight up as far as I can.
How much? There's 40 feet high, so how high do you want to go? How much
So I had
movement do you
moved
have left?
15. If I can go up 35, that would be swell. Because I'm concentrating on that spell. I don't want.
Okay. All right, Brina.
I'm going to hit the big boy, the burning effigy. He's very scary. I don't like him. I'm going to reckless attack just from where he.
That'll hit.
Yes.
21. Very nice.
Ooh, and I'll do it again. Okay.
25 also hits. 18. Yeah. Two solid strikes. Your enchanted weapon, especially with that frosty edge on it, just cleaves through this now glowing red iron in some places. You see like some of the pieces just kind of snap and shear off at the cold touch.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. Brings it
Stay
to
there.
Alexa.
Kicking his ass.
Oh boy. I need some information. So I'm going to get about 15 feet in the air. And just get my ass all the way over here. Oh boy. He's an interesting character. All right. Galatar down there, Spinny Boy over there, but I care more about these two new fuckers that have joined the party. So let's... I don't really want to hit them with a firebolt because that seems counterproductive. So I will hit them with a quickened ray of frost and a second ray of frost. I will hit this dude both times.
Okay. They'll both hit.
Awesome. I think he loses 10 feet of his movement speed too. I don't think it stacks. I guess that's your call if it stacks.
It doesn't stack, but
Yeah, I didn't think
you're
it
right.
would.
10 feet until the start of its next turn. So 35. Yeah. A
should've spread it
solid
out.
hit as it's sort of like pulling itself into shape. As it turns around, like the bottom half of it just freezes solid for a moment as it sort of cracks and twists and begins to steam off, and it turns to kind of look at you.
Yeah, that'll end my turn.
Right.
15 feet in the air, by the way.
Ah. Yeah, I had to change that so that you guys couldn't change that on your own, because with level maps it's weird.
Ah,
You
okay.
guys accidentally popping through the floor.
Fair. Makes more sense.
Alright, so it's the Burning Effigy's turn. And yeah, it's just gonna try to mash Brina. That is a crit.
Ow!
So that would be 35 bludgeoning damage. 18 would be half of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then fire would be 28 reduced to 14 reduced to 7. fire damage.
Okay.
It's just like you hear the groaning of the iron as it's trying to hit you. It manages to bring both hands together just at such a point that like your blade doesn't do much to deflect the blows, and manages to kind of crunch you between. But you're strong and you bear it.
Can I actually use my reaction for Stone's Endurance to reduce the
Yeah.
damage on D12?
Absolutely.
Because that's hard then. 14. Oh, baby. Okay.
Alright. That will bring it to Keytree. Followed by the Grawl. I gotta do the Grawl first. Oh, no,
Sorry. We had our dog pee on the floor, so
bummer. I feel you.
decided it was time, I guess. If I could, I would like to is the shaman, is he on fire?
Yes, he is wreathed in flame.
And so is the effigy.
Well, the flames on the effigy are kind of contained in the bands of iron, so you could strike the
Okay.
effigy without taking fire damage.
Okay, I would like to then make a multi-attack as the eagle against the effigy.
Okay.
So let's see. The beak attack is gonna be if my computer would let it go. So that was an 8 to hit with the beak.
8 unfortunately will not penetrate the iron.
I figured, and the talons are okay. Yeah. It's not happening for me today.
This is a creature fueled by enchanted living flame, and as it's kind of wailing around on Brina and moving, you're trying to swoop in and grab it and deal damage, and it's just very difficult to get in and not get clocked.
In any sense, am I able to could I potentially maneuver, even though I'm flying, can I maneuver so that I'm somewhat flanking with Brina? Would that give her advantage if I'm in the air? Opposite her?
If you got down to here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's sort of flanking at the diagonal. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm trying to like go at his head. That will be my turn then.
Right. Oh. He only took one attack against Brina. The crit. Hang on. He gets another one.
He can hit me again. If he tries.
He gets 2 burning smashes. 25 will hit, but the damage is 14 reduced to 7 bludgeoning damage, and 14 reduced to 7 reduced to 3 fire damage.
Touche, Burning Man, touche.
So at this
Yeah,
point,
it's really
the
cool.
Grawl warriors sort of retreat back towards their cavern and take up a defensive position, spears out, sort of bracing themselves. And the magma elementals Birdie zooms up towards the ceiling. Alexa is well off the ground. Although 15 feet, they are technically large creatures, so this one is gonna bubble its way over here and crawl out of this pit.
Does he have enough movement speed?
Oh,
I
right.
assume he does.
So that's
It's only -10.
He would get to here. But
Yeah.
And these guys have.
Totally did not think about them being large creatures. And yeah, 10 feet and a 5-foot reach. That's math for you.
He is going to use his Molten Strike ability. And that is a 10 to hit.
Hey, that doesn't hit.
Yep. That is all he gets. The other guy, the closest person there is Brina. Come up behind Brina.
What the hell, man? I didn't do nothing.
Now Brina's flanked.
Time to earn that paycheck, Brina. Come on.
Alright, so the second attack will hit.
I got a mighty 16 armor class now, so I guess a 22 will still hit though.
So that would be 14 bludgeoning reduced to 7. And as its sort of molten fist slams into your back, the 4 fire damage reduced to 2, reduced to 1. But its Molten Strike ability, let's say, oh, I didn't label the thing correctly, it would be an extra 20 fire damage reduced to 10, reduced to 5. And I need you to make a strength saving throw as it kind of slams down on you and tries to throw you off balance.
Strength save.
Yeah, you're fine.
Man, these bitches are mean.
Alright.
So it's rage resistance and the bracer resistance is the double.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I can remove them because there are no more Flame Legion soldiers. And that brings it to Galatar with Kala on deck.
Okay. Galatar is going to kind of fiddle with the ring on his finger on his left hand. And as he does, is going to start forming some arcane signs with his right hand. And all of a sudden, a draconic being will appear right. Let's go with, hold on one second. Yeah, okay, so can do. So I'm gonna try and position him here, like behind the shaman.
Is this the Draconic Spirit?
Yeah, this is the draconic spirit, so it's large and neutral.
There you go.
And for this dragon, I'm gonna choose the chromatic family for its abilities.
Okay.
Okay. Then the dragon can make a number of rend attacks equal to half the spell's level rounded down, and it uses its breath weapon, so it's gonna try to make 3 rend attacks on the shaman.
Okay.
Although I guess it needs to be, sorry, I need to move 5 feet close.
Shaman's got a -2 on the AC for slow.
Oh, great.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so this is to hit. Okay. 6 plus 4. Sorry, 1 second. I can't find this thing, so I'm just gonna roll.
If you click the creature, it'll have a thing at the
Oh.
top you can use for its stuff.
Perfect. Because I was trying to figure out what its to hit is, so that'd be great. Let me do that. Okay, so then features. multi-attack. There we go.
Oh, did it just say what a multi-attack is? Crap.
Sure did. Damn it.
Huh.
Didn't quite work.
This is another thing that doesn't show up under.
So I was trying to figure out exactly what its to hit bonus is. I'm guessing it would be strength plus proficiency, which is mine, so it would be plus 10.
Your spell attack modifier is its.
Oh, it's my
attack.
spell attack modifier. Oh, so it's plus 11.
That should. Yeah, if you click off of it and click it again under inventory, rend will be under its inventory.
Oh, okay, sorry. Try this again. Inventory. Oh, perfect. Okay. Well, it's at 6th level, so
1d6 plus 10 piercing.
Yeah, but I'm confused by that. It didn't seem. It just did.
It didn't roll.
Oh.
It's just a notation so that I know what to
I
do.
see. Got you. Okay, so I'll just roll it then.
I will work on making that better, but yeah.
No worries. So I'll just roll it at 11. So the first one is 16 to hit.
The shaman 16 will not hit.
Will it hit one of his duplicates by chance?
Oh,
Because they don't have the same benefits, right?
Yes, yes. Image. 8 or more. Alright, so it does target a duplicate. And
It was a 16 to hit.
16 will hit. Alright, so one of those goes away.
Okay. And I'll do another rend attack. And this one's a lot better. This is a 28 to hit.
Alright, this one actually targets the shaman, and it does hit.
Okay, so that is 1d6 plus 10, which I'll just roll a d6. 15 points of damage, piercing damage.
Okay.
And then last attack. That is a 24 to hit.
Let's see. It's 20. Alright, so that targets the shaman as well, and that does hit.
Okay. And that is 13 points of piercing damage.
And then Alright, so in order of operations, in case you want to change that, the first time it struck the shaman,
Uh-huh.
that flame shield around it dealt 11 fire damage to
Okay.
the draconic spirit.
Okay.
If you make a
And it's
second attack,
resistant. Is that with its resistance to fire? Or would
does
it
have
be
resistance
5?
to fire?
Yeah, because it's chromatic and so it has resistance to fire.
Okay, then that would be
5
yeah,
points of damage?
5, and then another 5 for the second attack.
Okay, gotcha. So it's down to 50 hit points. And then it's gonna unleash its breath weapon, which is a 30-foot cone. And I think I can do this without really, I don't know if I can get him to. I think I can without really getting Brina. If I go there. Oh, there we go. Could I get that from him without getting Brina? No. Could I move him back and risk the attack of opportunity? Would that be okay? Because he still has movement left.
Can't take reactions because he's slowed.
Oh, perfect. Then I will move him back.
He's moving like
To
like
there?
molasses.
Or to here. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where the...
It comes from any square really like adjacent to you, so
Oh, okay.
like if he turns and faces this way, you know.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Yeah, because I just want to try and get key tree out of it. Like if most of it hits the wall and just try and get half of it on this guy, and then cover the shaman. So if I could slide it over.
Keytree was there.
Yeah. So it'd be slid over to the right. Yeah.
That's gonna hit Brina.
Is it? Could I just shift it more to the right, like just twist it.
I don't think there's
Rotate it.
because the 30-foot cone at the end
Uh-huh.
is gonna hit Keytree because she's only 20 feet in the air.
Oh, but
Yeah.
what I was asking is, can I not get an angle where I just avoid Keytree altogether?
Like that.
Like I still have movement, yeah, on the
Okay,
dragon.
yeah,
Like I
yeah.
can move.
If you position
Okay.
them, yeah, to do that. Okay.
Perfect. That's what I was trying to do. Cool. All right. So then it's not much damage. They make a dexterity saving throw, and then it's 2d6 cold. Actually, let's do lightning damage.
I believe the shaman also has a -2 on dex saves with slow.
Thank you. So the shaman fails.
Okay.
The effigy oddly succeeds.
Well, what are you gonna do?
You got 19 on the die.
On a failed save, or half as much on a successful one, so it does still take damage. So that's 5 and a 1, so 6. So 3 points of lightning damage for the effigy, and then 6 points of lightning damage for our beloved shaman friend.
Okay.
All right, and that is my turn. Oh, actually, I do want to also use my movement. Get to here. Okay, and that's all.
Okay. That'll bring it to Kala's turn.
I'm gonna shoot the shaman.
Okay. That'll hit. Jesus.
53.
Yeah. Oh, hang on.
Yeah, does that hit him or a duplicate?
It hits him.
Ooh.
It's a hefty hit. I'd say like that. That takes him right through the back of the leg as he's trying very slow. It's an odd target because it's moving a lot slower than you'd anticipate it to move, and as it gets caught in this blast of frigid air or lightning, this cloud of crackling lightning, your arrow kind of wobbles a bit and it catches it in the leg, but it passes through, and you can see the thick, almost molten blood start to puddle out of that wound and run down its leg. It's really, really, really hurt.
Then I'm gonna shoot the elemental next to Alexa.
Okay. Hit.
And I'm just gonna stay here.
Yeah, Alexa, you watch as this arrow passes through the what would be a head. It's just sort of like a vague lump, but the lump like separates, like the T-1000, you know, just like breaks apart for a moment before trying to stitch itself back together. It's a heavy hit. It's looking pretty rough. That brings it to the shaman. Is going to he starts to twist and pull his hands through the air again as he casts another spell.
Could he roll a d20 for me, please? Since he is
Oh
slowed.
shit, yeah.
You've fallen right into my trap.
The ultimate.
18?
What is it?
Oh,
18? No, I believe 18's the good one in this case. On an 11 or higher, the spell doesn't take effect until the creature's next turn, and the creature must use its action on that turn to complete the spell. If it can't, the spell is wasted.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
And it can either
so
use an action, bonus action, not both. So.
Yeah, it starts to chant, and it's slow muttering of the incantation, and you watch as it sort of draws a jagged line across the ground in front of it, but it's moving much slower than usual.
I like to think all these movements are like followed by a trail of glitter that like is like pouring out from like behind the movement, like tracing the movement behind. This, yeah, that's the
Sounds
slow
good to me.
effect for Birdie. Yeah.
The Grawl chieftain is going to take a couple of steps over, and he's going to chuck his bloody spear at the effigy.
I will say he does get to remake that, or try and make that save, the wisdom save on slow at the end of his turn. The shaman.
Ah, okay.
The wisdom save.
16.
Still slow.
Unfortunately, the Grawl's spear misses the effigy. It just like clangs off the armor and clatters to the ground. And you see sort of, and it gestures to its people and sort of makes its way back over towards them. And that brings it to Birdie. Brina's on deck.
Brina looks fine. Got some guys in front of us here. I don't really want to spend a big spell on them, I don't think. Oh, what the heck? Let's go crazy.
What else are we here for?
What's the rating? 30 foot. Okay. Tell you what I'll do. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Oh, I've got a 60-foot fly speed. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. I can get. If I can get, like, yeah, I think I'm gonna fly to that where I had just measured. I'm gonna say it's over here somewhere. Yeah, I'm gonna fly down. Well, let me make sure I can do the math here. What is this? 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, I think that's about right. Right about there.
Okay.
And that should get me everybody I need. Yeah. Yeah, and so I'll go to the ground on that one. As for this one, is where I need to be. I think he like kind of does like a slow descent and like lands on a knee with his loot out and is going to strike a destructive wave into the ground here.
Okay.
So each creature I choose within 30 feet, which should be all the baddies, is going to need to succeed on a con save.
Okay. 18.
Fail. The 19
5
save.
for the elemental next to you.
Dang it!
Fail. For the effigy. 23 for the shaman.
That's rude on his part, but he's slowed, so not my problem. All right, well...
They take half damage on a success, right?
They do. So on a fail, they take 32. It's 10 thunder, 22 radiant. And on a success, they take, or on a successful save, they take 16. And if they fail, they're also knocked prone.
Okay.
And then I'll use my. Well, no, I think no, it's okay. Honestly, I think I'll be all right. We'll call it there.
Okay. That brings it to Brina. As these magma elementals up behind you struck you, all this chaos is going all around you. That towering effigy, even as it brought up a hand, is rocked onto its ass by Bertie, descending from the upper levels of the cavern, slamming into the ground in this burst of rainbow glitter.
So if he's prone, I'm all well.
Okay.
It seems only fair.
Mm-hmm.
Do you attack with advantage when another person's prone?
Yeah.
Just wondering.
25 will hit.
18?
Yeah, you swing down and cleave like right into the steel horned visage of this thing and just dent the face inward. You can see its arms kind of quaking and shuddering as it tries to reach up towards you in an attempt to right itself, but it's looking rough.
Good. One more again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that'll do
baby.
it. Your remaining strength brings that sword down a second time, and this time that iron cagey helm just sort of snaps off and goes rolling off to the side, and the flames inside it you watch briefly take on a blue tinge as the magic of your frosted greatsword permeates the creature, this strange entity, and then the fire just winks out, and there's just this cold, charred metal smell.
So glad the shaman was alive to see that.
Yeah.
Rena just goes, and then she'll turn around.
Face
this
guy.
Right.
But yeah, that'll be my turn.
Alexa.
Yeah, I did have one plan, but as I see the fucking effigy go down out of the corner of my eye, I just say,
Hey, Burning Man.
fuck it, and I'm gonna probably double mind sliver this motherfucker. But we'll see. Oh, so yeah, it needs to make an intelligence 21 save.
Hard fail.
So it takes 12 psychic damage.
You watch as its head is like trying to re-stick itself together. These little tendrils of molten rock kind of reaching out towards each other, entwining. And as you hit it, there's just this vibration, and it sort of just disintegrates, bursts like a bubble being popped, lava spilling all over the ground. And it is gone.
Then I will follow that up with a quickened ray of frost to the other gentleman.
20 will hit.
Cold 18 cold damage to him, and if he moves, it's 10 less.
Very nice.
Yeah, I think that I will metaphorically literally play with fire and go stand over the lava and just kind of look at it.
Okay. It is extremely hot, but you are far enough away that you are not immediately set ablaze. That brings it to
I feel the
Kitri.
feast really just opens up the pores after all that walking.
Since the effigy is gone, I will use my giant eagle form again to just make a multi-attack, but this time I will oh, I still have the ruler up. That would make sense to move. I will go for this elemental gentleman over here. I didn't mean to move that far. Okay. Well, that didn't do what I thought it was going to. So that's a 21 on the beak.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And then again a natural one on the talons, but the beak hit. So 1d6 plus 3. So this elemental gentleman will take 6 points of that'll be piercing damage.
Okay. You swoop down and kind of dig into this creature, and as you do, bits of its molten stone sort of pull out and burn you, and you take 8 fire damage.
Cool. And that will be my turn.
Okay. The Grawl warriors just kind of hold their ground. The magma elemental is going to take one swing towards Keytree. That will definitely hit a giant eagle for 11 bludgeoning damage and 3 fire damage, so for a total of 14.
So the eagle is down, and Keytree herself will take 8 damage.
Plus 1 additional damage as you plummet 15 feet to the ground.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Yeah.
Alright. It then takes a second swing at... hang on, let me restore transformation. There you go, now you're Keytree again. At Marina. And a 17 will hit. For 10 bludgeoning reduced to 5, and 9 reduced to 4, reduced to 2. Fire damage.
Did Keytree's bird just get bigger for you all?
Yes, yes, it did.
She is bigger bird now. She has evolved into true
Very
Keytree
strange.
form.
Who's that Pokemon?
I had to refresh to get her bird to come on screen for me in the first place.
Where'd her bird go?
Yeah, I might just need
Brings
to
it
refresh.
to the top of the round to Galatar. Kala on deck.
Okay. I'm gonna hold out my hand towards the elemental as it starts to hear some bells ringing around it, and I'll cast Toll the Dead. So it needs to make a Wisdom 19 saving throw.
Fails.
Okay, and it takes 4d12, so I'll just click that. 20 points of necrotic damage.
Okay. You'll hear this dolorous bell chime. Boom, boom. And you watch as the elemental, even as it's swinging, starts to kind of shudder and shake. Yeah, solid hit. It's
And then
still got some fight in it.
as the bells kind of die down, Galatar will run in and try and make like a sweeping strike at it to cut into its torso.
Okay.
It's a 23 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Okay. And that is 8 plus 11, so 19 points of slashing damage.
Okay. Yeah, it's looking rough. You managed to come in, and as it's rearing back, Alexa's frostbolt hits it. You manage to find that opening, cleave part of the molten material off, and just sort of plops onto the ground with a steam and a hiss.
And then as my verbal command to my dragon, Galatar will just say don't let up, and he'll have his dragon continue making its rend attacks on this guy. So it'll take one swipe with its talons. That's a 19 plus 11, 30 to hit. But I believe he still has one more mirror image.
This targets him.
Okay. And that was 1d6 plus 10. 15 points of piercing damage.
15.
15.
That'll do it.
Oh,
Okay. So he moved.
Even as the line of flame that it's begun to draw across the ground, this weird trail of glitter behind its hands as it makes the motion, the rend attack just like pierces through it, pinning it to the ground, and with a squeeze there's this crunch, and the life leaves it. The flames around it flicker and die, and the illusory thing just vanishes.
Okay, and then he has 60 feet of fly speed, so I'm gonna have him just fly up right behind this boy, and I guess now he would be opposite Brina. So would these attacks be with advantage?
Sure.
Okay. So he'll take his last 2 rend attacks at this guy. That first one's a 26 to hit.
That'll hit.
That's for 12 points of slashing damage. And then a 24 to hit.
Yep.
For 14 more points of slashing damage.
Yeah.
And then I think I can angle. No, I'm gonna hit Call if I angle the cone. I think she's within 30 feet. Yeah, so I'm just gonna not worry about his breath attack. And end my turn.
Okay. That brings it to Kala.
It's just the elemental left, right? Everything else is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna shoot him.
All right. That'll hit. And that'll do it. Yeah, one final arrow, even as the spiritual dragon is rending pieces of the molten flame away, and I guess that would be another. Oh shit. 5 to like 2 fire damage because of the resistance. Or no, it would be 5, but it doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, the arrow finds it. It's just like the last chunk, the core of this elemental swirls as the dragon rends the covering off of it. Your arrow finds it, cracks it, and the thing just shatters. And the cavern goes quiet. There's a shuffling in the southern end as the 2 surviving Grawl step forward. Their chieftain standing before them, kind of eyeing you all with caution. But he and his warriors standing proudly over their own kills.
Floating above the lava, I go, whoop whoop!
Well, the chieftain just kind of like gives you a raised eyebrow. Raises his shield. Whoop whoop.
Whoop up!
Rena said that's all we need to know.
Basically.
I'd like to, pull off my hood so I'm visible. Walk over to the God Forged and cut off his right hand.
Easily done. You guys hear the quick.
Look at that
shing
person keeping on track.
as a blade is drawn, and with a quick single swipe, you see now that even like as soon as the hand leaves the body, the molten glow seeping from the tips of its horns and behind its eyes has gone dark. Separating the hand from the arm, it almost instantly kind of dims and goes out. There's a smoke thinly rising from it, the scent of ash, charred wood, but it just stands there kind of clawed, almost grasping. It is warm to the touch, but it is not hot.
I'll just hang on to it for a minute and see if it cools down more before putting in the bag of holding.
You guys watch as Kala takes the trophy. The Grawl are just kind of standing there watching you.
I'll give Brina Cure Wounds.
Okay.
Bertie, did you see the books anywhere by chance on your way?
They gotta be
Or
around
the
here
treasure.
somewhere, Galatar. Maybe, have you checked like all the cracks and crevices? I mean, all of them.
Well, I didn't know if maybe that guy had given you like a hint, like it's in the cave.
What I'm
and
hearing
then
is you
look
haven't
for...
checked. You haven't checked them.
No, I mean we had the fight, but I just thought maybe he'd given you more hints. It's kind of like vague to just be like, oh, it's in a cave.
Gala, I think when those lava elementals came around, they might have burned the books.
Oh no! Don't say
I was
it.
gonna suggest you check the privy. The Grawl probably just use it as, paper. Or...
They burned the books?
Yeah.
Maybe there's some saved in the privy.
Why would they burn them?
Check every crack and crevice. I mean, you might want to spend a day down here at least, just kind of poking around. You never know where they can be hidden.
Okay, Galatar's gonna go stare into the flames and see if he sees any hints of the books that maybe he can still save.
Chieftain turns back to one of his warriors and just kind of grumbles. And kind of gestures, and one of them turns and heads back down the cavern to the southwest. Sort of disappears into the darkness. Chieftain walks over to where the effigy lies and picks up his bloodied spear, stamps it in the ground, and kind of stares proudly at you all. Even standing at height, he's got like kind of a hunch, and you can see now the sort of overhanging brow ridge and the large underbite, these big square jaws these creatures have, their small tusks kind of peeking out under their lips.
No flame.
Oh, no flame.
It gives you a very suspicious look, Kala.
Block two? Block two? Oh. You're... That she's subject.
You see, like, there is a hint of anger as he says the name.
Never mind. Block two. Outside.
Do it, no, Chicky. Double, yip, yip.
Yep, yeah.
Yeah. Bok 2's a coward.
Looks confused.
I mean,
Well-
he took an arrow to the fucking face and lived to tell about it.
Because we healed him.
He might have survived on his own. We don't know.
You're right.
Two. No, whoop, whoop.
No wop wop.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, this place is big.
Do I get the sense that the two other passages that were options when we first came in, that they all end up leading here? Like, are there other ways in besides the one that we came in?
You have no idea.
Cool.
You've seen what you've seen. They clearly opened into some other places. There were varying light levels between a couple of them.
I'll be like, Galatar, we might just not be in the room where the books are. We still have some other rooms to check out.
At this point, one of the Grawl warriors that disappeared in the tunnel comes back, and you see he's carrying what looks like a large water skin, and dragging with him what looks like a hide stitched sack. Kind of steps out into the center of the space between Kala and Birdie, gestures to the water skin and kind of like squeezes some onto his mouth.
Nip, Chicky.
And gestures, making the eating motion to the sack.
Oh, I'm
Whoop, whoop.
really, I don't want to do that.
I'll drink it and eat it.
It's water in the sack. It's a little like minerally, like mineral heavy, like spring water kinda. It's been like run over limestone. It's warm, like not hot, but it's like room tepid. You know.
it's room temperature of the lava cave.
Kind of unties the hide sack and opens it out. There's like bits of what look like dried strips of mushroom, bits of like very, very crispy jerky of some sort. He takes one and sort of like nibbles on it a little bit.
Jimbo.
And he looks at you and says in Char,
Eat.
I'll take a piece of the jerky and eat it.
it's a little well done.
I'll ask him more flame and like point to the other areas of the cave?
I kind of looked at his chieftain, who kind of looks back and just gestures in the affirmative. And the warrior says,
No flame.
Good.
makes a motion to the other warrior, and the two of them start dragging the Char warriors to the east, where the shaman had originally fled, marked it here on the map. Start dragging them towards another lava pit. This one's set with several large stalagmites that kind of rise up from the pool, themselves made of like a pale ashen basalt, cracked and kind of glowing from within. One looks particularly larger, one kind of at the back of the cavern. You watch as they start dragging them closer and closer, and there's another kind of natural stair step of this stone that goes down into this lava pit, and they start kicking them down the stairs. As they do so, you hear the tumble and the clatter of the weapons as they kind of stumble towards the lava, and the Grawl stand at the top, arms raised up, speaking in the Grawl tongue in an almost reverent chant. Place their tokens over here. Each time they kick one of the bodies down, you know, as it kind of hits the lava, you hear the kss, you smell like the burning hair of the char. There's this triumphant sort of cackling whoop from the Royal Warriors.
Ninja.
And Birdie, as you're just kind of standing there, you can see, like, in the dimness of that cavern to the southwest, the faint shadowy form of shifting Grawl figures, their eyes kind of glinting in the lava light, staying back in the shadows, kind of clinging to each other in obvious fear. Some of them kind of leaned up against the wall, just peeking out, keeping an eye on things.
Yeah, I'll kind of come up next to Kala, and like, I don't think there's gonna be anything down here that we want. They've just got like sticks and stuff, which, like, I'm glad we could help them out, but yeah.
I don't think they know how to read.
The
Oh yeah, no.
usually goes over to the Char shaman, pulls out what looks like a large hand axe, like a very large, oversized hatchet made of obsidian. Grabs onto one of the horns and kind of pulls the head taut and just starts hacking the thick neck of the Char. It's a bloody couple of minutes while he makes his way through it, but eventually he manages to sever the Godforged shaman's head from his shoulders. He lifts it up by the two horns.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop. Yeah.
Whoop, whoop. Yep.
Well, you all obviously have some stuff to do.
Whoop, whoop it out.
Whoop whoop. Yeah. Whoop whoop.
The other two
so,
warriors kind of make their way around the corner to join him, and he gestures to you all.
Whoop whoop. Ne chop tidasino. Tumja.
And he starts to make his way north around the lava pool, the way you came.
Sure,
Carrying
yeah.
the Char.
Did it look like the shaman had anything interesting on him?
No, he was pretty sparse. He had like a I don't want to say ornate, but he had a beaded necklace. Looked like little spherical beads of obsidian, some like a couple of gold. But other than that, he was just like some tattered leathers and a loincloth and like leg wraps. Nothing.
All right.
No weapons or anything like that.
I would, if they're gesturing north, I'm happy to head north. I would like to walk back across the lava just to flex on them, though. Just to show them who means who.
Nipple armor in full
You know?
effect.
Yeah.
So as they start to make their way north around the edge of this pool, Birdie just cuts across beside this enormous crystalline dragon that is just kind of hanging out. And as you start stepping across the lava, the chieftain stops and kind of like goes down to one knee.
Oh my god.
Puts some weight on the shaman's head, like puts it on the ground, one hand out kind of towards the edge, and is just watching you.
Flame. No flame.
No flame. No flame.
He starts like speaking with his warriors and like gesturing towards you. Clearly, they are discussing your ability to walk.
Divine, from above. From above.
No.
Run.
Yes.
No.
Oh gosh.
Power from Grawl. I am favored.
Toronto gosh. Oh, Toronto gosh.
They all kind of like make a gesture.
Oh.
It's kind of, you get the sense it's sort of like crossing yourself.
Right.
And just like a hand out towards you, and then they stand. And...
Toronto gosh.
I return the hand. I kind of like pass a hand over them, and like give them a nod.
This cave adventure went worse than predicted.
Eventually, you find them heading back down the hallway. Is anyone staying behind, or are you all following with them?
I gotta. Roll
I think we have to drag Galatar out because he's probably pretty distraught over the non-existent books.
I will gather you all up here. Drag everyone together.
There's so many books.
I will say, as you follow them back into the entryway, there is that familiar sort of hissing caw of a vulture. As another vulture sort of flies quickly in and lands between two of the pillars and starts kind of bobbing its way into the space. And you see the chieftain kind of put his arms out and stop its warriors.
Mule hakche. Bok tu.
And there's just like a hot second where nothing happens, and then the vulture puts two wings on the ground and just sort of like shifts back into Baktu down on all fours, and it stands slowly up. And you can see this is a much slighter, much more gaunt Grawl. It's got pretty well toned muscles, but there's not much to it. But you can see the red feathers of his headdress don't stand as high as the chieftain, but it's of a similar make. And they start to converse with each other in the Grawl tongue. And then you hear the chieftain sort of, as he turns and gestures towards Birdie, and then makes a gesture to encompass the rest of you.
Toronto gosh. Ina bakchike. No flame. Netapche nakto.
And Baktu kind of chitters back. You see he kind of crosses his arms.
Nimakdek. Need I say. Toronto gosh. Bok tu. Ete wop wop.
There's clearly a disagreement being had as they continue to talk back and forth to one another. No more chanting. As the discussion gets a little more heated, Baktu gestures to the passage to the north, and then points at the severed head of the Godforged shaman, to which the chieftain just kind of like holds it up, clearly in both hands by the horns, holds it in front of himself, between him and Baktu, and it's like,
De noche. Toronto. Nishtema. Ke wa.
And Baktu's nodding, and eventually they seem to reach some sort of accord. The chieftain then motions to his warriors, and they head towards that northern alcove.
Yeah. Following that.
You watch as the two warriors kind of stand on either side. One of them
Okay.
holds the head, and the shaman climbs up this like 6-foot high incline. It's an easy climb. You can see it's more of this kind of natural step, but it's very, very steep. Plenty of footholds though. He climbs his way up, and then he turns around as he gets one arm over the top and grabs the shaman's head and kind of lifts it up, hurls it up to the top, and then pulls himself up after it. He takes a couple of steps, and you can see him now very brightly lit, as though standing very close to some lava. He raises the head over his own head with both arms raised up, and begins to kind of chant rhythmically, Toron Togosh, Toron Togosh, and this kind of goes on for a couple of seconds. Baktu is sort of hanging in the back behind you all. And he says, in a kind of hushed whisper,
Whoop, whoop. Mountain. Whoop, whoop. Pray, mountain.
Sure, yeah, seems reasonable.
Yeah.
And eventually, after a couple of minutes go by, the chieftain kind of takes a knee, and you watch as he arches back and just chucks the shaman's head and disappears. You hear like the plop and the fizzle as it impacts what is clearly another lava pool.
Solid 8.
The chieftain then turns, gestures widely to all of you, and just says,
Torontogosh. Neshtaki. Afe ulusa.
and gestures for you to come this way.
Sure,
Yeah. I'll walk over there.
Easy for you, Kala. Very quickly you're able to attain the same height. You see that this is a smaller...
Why are we going
chamber.
over to the lava? What are we?
I don't
The
know.
mountain god wants to thank us or something.
Yeah, Torontogosh is gonna...
You've
Yeah.
got this handled, right? As you're this representative of Toronto.
Yeah. The walking on lava thing seems to,
Yeah,
seem
you really
to-
set yourself up with that one. Have fun. I'm gonna stay back. I'm really checking out of all of this mountain stuff.
Colin and Birdie standing at this level with the chieftain. You can see there's a smaller chamber, but it is a lava pool. There are a couple of stones kind of lying nearby, a couple of feet out, but then there's a large sort of stone island in the center, about 10 feet wide. And in the center is what looks like a very thin spire of cooled magma, about 6 inches across, but about 5.5 feet high. And sort of affixed to it are these primitive sort of like charred sticks that are arrayed. There's a crossbar and then a couple at an angle, and there are bits of string and feathers dangling from it, and a very filthy tattered piece of what looks like hide with what looks like tribal scrawling and hand art kind of hanging down for about 2 feet by 2 feet. Very, very tattered and kind of crisped at the edges. And the chieftain just motions to that and makes a gesture.
Torontogosh. Ifalialu. Torontogosh. Avec Gizo.
Okay. Now, how long does fly last, Jimmy?
10 minutes, so it's probably long gone by now.
See, at this point, Fly is probably gone.
Okay. Well, I'll just walk over there then, I think. I'm gonna take the
You
steps
start
down.
to make your way down. There is a sort of natural stair take your first step out onto the exposed stone, and then place your foot on the lava, and it holds your weight as it has before. It's an odd sensation, and it is oppressively hot.
Hmm.
And you can sense that, but it doesn't really bother you.
But,
Yeah.
yeah,
The
I'll-
island itself is about 3 feet out of the lava, so you kind of gotta like hop up on there.
Sure,
It's easily
sure.
done.
Yeah, I'll hop up here. And I kind of look back at the chief and I go, Toronto, gosh. Toronto, gosh.
It just like puts its hands forward and kind of bows its head towards you.
I kind of reach my hand out as if, like, kind of getting close, like I would touch it. I go, Toronto, gosh.
It repeats the gesture.
This is so fucked up.
I'll touch it.
You put your hand around it, and it is hot to the touch. It is very apparently like a sort of cooled, molten stone. Doesn't seem to burn you though. Nothing else happens.
Toronto, gosh. Yeah, I'll take my hand off. I'll say what I do. I'll take my hand off. And I will. Oh, that might be bad. I don't want to do that. No, I shouldn't do that. That's okay. All right. Okay.
Do it.
Who's next? No, I don't want to do it. Well, fuck. So there's all sorts of like tattered things hanging off this like kind of shrine-y thing.
Yeah, little bits of like leather and string with like feathers and what look like maybe bones and little shiny stones. Not gems.
I'll
but,
take out. I'll like kind of pull off my pack and dig around a little bit, and I'll pull out this like glittery, I'd say like silver ascot that I have, and I will tie it around as another ornament here.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll kind of go, Toronto, gosh, and kind of back away.
The chieftain just sort of
Toronto gosh. Evali. Nefalend Chinacto.
and it backs away slowly and starts to descend the cliff wall to go back into
Huh?
the cave entrance.
Trolla, do you have any idea what he's saying?
Well, I think this thing is their god. Or like a I don't know, I think it's their god. Maybe they think you're the god? Or you were sent by the god?
Yeah.
I
mean,
think
I'd
maybe
believe it.
earlier they were arguing like, was it the mountain god that sent us or the bird god? And then they decided, oh, it's the mountain god.
Mountain god.
Yeah.
Do you think, is there anything I can do to like spice this up for him? I mean, I've got a flamethrower on me. I don't know if that would go over well. I don't think it would.
They seem happy with the sticks.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll just call it in there, I think.
Bertie, you have spent enough time among different cultures to recognize a sort of altar or shrine.
Yeah, yeah.
This is clearly a place where they come to make offerings. In most cultures that you're familiar with, most people aren't allowed to approach the Holy of Holies.
Mhm.
So this is a place the chief and the shaman would usually be restricted to go.
I see. I see.
I think maybe when you were saying, you know, we came from,
Above, yeah.
yeah, they think we came like
Yeah.
out of the mountain, like we're
Yeah.
from.
Holly,
their
you're not gonna
god.
believe it. I know what I was intending. if I can just have a small group of people that worship me, that would be a dream come true in my book. Are these
Fame and
steps over
fortune is
here?
not
Do these
enough.
go somewhere? Do I see? Are these steps? Are these steps over here? Does that lead somewhere, or is that just rock?
It's just like the side of the cliff wall.
Okay. All right. Well, I was trying to think. Is there anything I can do? Ooh, ooh. Okay. Okay. So he backed away. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
he crawled
can't
back
see
down,
what I'm doing right now.
and he's kind of moving over towards Baktu.
Okay. Okay. Real quick, I'm gonna pull out my marvelous pigments, and I am going to will into existence a like elaborate obsidian crown.
This is why I didn't want to go in the cave.
Damn it.
I'm just drawing little circles in the sand, like some elaborate
Yeah.
little patterns, like
I'd
just
like to
thinking about the eternal alchemy.
that.
Must
know,
ascend to godhood.
Galatar, as you climb the cliff as well, I assume.
Once I see Birdie's associate crown, I turn back to going out with Alexa. As soon as I see Birdie look like he's up to gimmicks, I'm just done.
You reach the top and you see that there is this sort of weird shrine in the center of this lava pit, and the sort of totem. It's really odd. Like it's just a spire of cooled stone. Like it doesn't look like it fell. Like it's not like plops that have accumulated. It's an odd like it's just a very narrow tower of cooled magma. It's an unusual shape for magma to take. It's not something you would see in the natural world typically.
If I were to cast Detect Magic, would I see any magic upon it?
There is an aura of magic around the totem itself, as well as the sense of potent magic on the stone island itself.
Is there room for me to stand on the stone island or be on it at the same time as Bertie?
You could squeeze there.
Cool. I'll try and get the chief's permission first. Just try and kind of point at myself and then point at the island.
You were all sort of gestured
Okay.
up.
I'll let
He's
Then
not paying attention.
I will Misty step over onto the rock. And you said that's light on the totem but heavy on the rock, right?
Well, you don't see an aura on the stone. You just get the sense that there is strong magic here.
Okay, I'm gonna put my hand on the.
Is sort of shimmering around the column of cooled magma.
Okay, I'll take out my book and put my hand on the totem and start casting Identify on it.
Okay. So Birdie, are you making your crown on the island, or are you doing that when you get back to the thing?
Quickly make the crown on the island, kind of like out of sight.
It would take a little time, is why I'm saying this.
Well, I mean,
Like, it doesn't take Galatar about a hot second to blip over there.
well, I don't mind. I can go down to like the lava. I just kind of want to do it out of sight from them.
Okay. Yeah, you
and-
are out of sight.
I mean, it's pretty fast. 10 minutes for 100 square feet. So for like a, you know,
because it does
I don't-
magically form itself.
Yeah, I don't actually have to paint it. It just
kinda
like kind of wills
make
into
vague
existence.
gestures.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know, I don't know when, however long that takes. I don't know if you want to do Galatar's thing first, or we can do my thing.
We'll say about the time Identify finishes casting, you
Yeah. That's when Birdie
coalesce
steps
this
up.
very ornate obsidian crown.
That's when Birdie steps up here and he goes, Toronto gosh. Whoop whoop.
You see the two warriors at the base of the cliff kind of look up, and when they see you, they take a couple of steps back and take a knee. The chieftain and the shaman both turn and look at you, and Alexa and Keytree and Brina, you watch as they look at each other like even among this culture, there's a universal look of like, what?
We do the same. And I go back to drawing circles.
Galantar, as you put your hand on the this column, this totem, part of the identify spell is maintaining contact, sort of running your hand up and down it. Part of this cooled stone shell flakes away, like a bit of it just sort of like crumbles off in your hand.
You fucking broke
You
it.
see beneath it
Oh
a
shit!
shimmer of gold.
What?
And what looks like half of an arcane sigil.
If I try and put my hand against the gold rather than whatever sort of the outside material is, am I able to get a? I guess what I'm asking is, am I able to get a sense of what it is when I cast Identify touching the outside, or do I need to?
As you're doing the spell, because it takes a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, part of this stone sort of flakes off, and you see this. And as you put your hand back on it and make contact, as soon as your skin touches the gold, it is a much stronger sort of pulse of arcane information that you start to get. And as you continue to kind of sense the channels and the currents of arcane energy that are thrumming through this column, more bits begin to kind of flake off and crumble into your hand, and you see more of this gold accent over what looks like a darker metallic shaft, and arcane sigils that start to be uncovered. You get the sense that this is an object of significant arcane craftsmanship, and that it has stood here for a very long time, and that this crust is the accumulation of centuries of exposure to the magma in this chamber. That what lies beneath itself is fire immune. And the more sigils you reveal and the longer you trace those sigils and learn, you gather that this is dwarven craftsmanship at its finest. Who knows by whom or how long ago it was embedded in this stone. And as more and more of the stone flakes off, you realize that this was the staff of a significant dwarven mage, built to channel the burning energy of their mountain homes. This is a staff of fire.
That's cool. This is almost as good as books.
As the last bit at the top, like as you kind of
Okay.
get to the end of the spell and the last little bit of information kind of seeps into your mind, the top, the crown of this thing sort of cracks and falls apart and takes the rest of the stone with it. And you see like it's embedded about 6 inches in the ground. But there before you is this sort of gold accented dark metallic staff with a slightly wider end with what looks like a burning glow inside the tip, emitting faint smoke.
Am I able to tell from that Identify spell, like what the staff of fire, like am I able to get any additional information about the staff itself?
Just what you've learned, that it was
Okay.
dwarven construction. It's been here for quite some time, and that it once belonged to a powerful mage.
I will sort of motion to the now revealed golden staff to the chief guy, and just sort of point at my. Okay.
You're like obstructed from everyone's vision except for Kala and Birdie.
Wow.
Guys, get ready to make like a quick exit. Galadar just broke their god.
Are you guys shitting me in there?
No, guys, it's a golden staff. I mean, I know you can hear me in my mind, so I don't have to shout this, but it's a golden staff. It was created by a druid. It's an arcane druid staff. Been here for a long time. It's a staff of fire.
Mage.
What it is.
Oh, sorry, druid mage.
He doesn't.
Dwarven mage, yeah.
Dwarven.
Sorry.
God!
Galatar, are you
True.
drunk in there?
Yeah.
Is
I'm
the
just
sulfur's getting
looking
to
for
him?
blood.
The sulfur's getting to him. Get him out. Get him out.
Sheer adrenaline of discovery.
Just keep saying true. Yeah, Dwarven mage.
That doesn't matter so much, Galatar. They think it's God. So
Well, maybe I should give it to, like, I think this is theirs. I should probably just give it to them, right? Or should I just leave it where it is?
I think I should probably leave it where it is. Right?
Could one of you, like, bring the chief over so I could, like, get confirmation from him before I do anything?
yip. We have
He's not Abba.
Yep.
thank you. So I'm glad somebody caught it.
Oh, it was in here the whole time.
The chief kind of looks over at Bach too, and looks over to you, and he says something in Grawl. You don't quite follow, but Bach kind of gives him a look and and Bach starts to kind of make his way over to you, and kind of stands at the base of the little rock wall between the two warriors. Sort of looks up at you, Birdie, and just the universal gesture, like, what?
The fuck?
We take.
Not are you?
Yeah.
Aye. Not are you? Aye.
Yeah. He's always yeah. Yeah. This is for us. You can take it, Galatar.
Oh, I can take it? Okay.
Yeah. And if they don't like it, we'll just, who cares?
Okay, I'll pull it out then, or I'll try to see if it comes out.
Alright. Yeah, so you grab onto it, and as you give it a hearty tug, it comes loose. And I need you and Kala and Birdie to make a strength saving throw. When this staff comes loose, the up to that point invisible glyph on the floor erupts with just a pulse of force.
Yeah.
There it is.
A strength saving throw?
Strength saving throw. That can't be good. Hey, I do have advantage though.
So are you
I'm
destroying
dying.
their god or?
I'd like to add 5 to that.
Okay.
I would like to roll a 13, please.
Right. Kala, your claws dig into the stone as you are pushed backwards, and you just manage to maintain your death grip on the stone beneath your feet. Birdie, you are blown backwards by the force of this. Looking down, you overshoot the shaman, who just watches you tumble through the air, and you land. It's silly, but you take 1 point of damage. You sort of crash into the floor.
Nice.
Galatar, you are pushed 10 feet away from the point,
Uh-oh.
pushed into the lava.
Yeah, now's a good time to say that I do have resistance to fire from my dragon. So I think that's probably going to be helpful here.
That lasts for an hour?
Yeah. So I assume
Awesome.
he's still up. Yeah.
Oh.
So that would be 41 fire damage, reduced to 20. As
God, that's so
you
painful.
hit, and like lava is not water; it is much more
Dude.
dense.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's like hitting like a Newtonian solid. Like you hit, and it's almost like when Superman gets plowed into the ground. Like you dig a furrow through this lava, and there's just this intense heat down your back.
Oh.
But you are able to use the staff to kind of start to right yourself. I assume you then.
I would like to dimension door my ass to just the other side.
Like to the entryway?
To the entryway, yeah. Like over by where I saw Alexa sitting and doing stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So you guys all feel
Galatar.
boom, and Birdie comes through
Alexa,
the
don't
air,
touch me, that's lava.
slams into the ground, and then Galatar appears, steam and smoke kind of coming off of his back.
This is what happens when you fuck with gods.
The Grawl
This is what happens when you fuck with us, you know?
grab onto the wall and look utterly surprised and more than a little afraid.
I'm like not very disturbed. You know, it's our group.
Baktu locks eyes on you, Galatar, and sees what you have in your hand. He's like, oh. And he turns to the chieftain and just starts gesturing, and there's a lot of words going back and forth. It's even so quick that it's hard to even make out syllables. But there's just this fluid stream, and there's this gestures, often gesturing up in a wide, almost swimming gesture to the stone ceiling overhead. Very emphatic, sort of gesturing to the others. And eventually they all sort of come to some sort of understanding. They all kind of gather and start moving towards you, Galatar. Until they're about 10 feet away. They sort of form a half crescent about 10 feet away from you. They each kind of take a knee, except for Baktu, who takes a couple of sidelong steps and is eyeballing you and then looking at the staff you carry and reaches out a questioning hand. Kind of like visually gets your permission as he reaches towards the staff.
Galatar like moves it slightly towards him.
He just like puts a hand on it. He doesn't try to take it from you, but he touches it, checks his hand, puts both of them on, and kind of like feels up and down near the end for a minute. Turns around and just kind of like shows his hands to the Grawl. And the chieftain and the other two Grawl warriors just start going, no.
Oh, we've done it now.
God damn it! I'm gonna have to memorize. I've got to. This is.
Then turns to you and puts a hand on your shoulder, and then takes the staff and kind of pushes it up to your chest, like, and gestures to the rest of your group, and pats the staff and gestures to the rest of your group, and just makes it clear that you are able to take this with you.
Oh, thank you very much.
All right. We're
We appreciate you.
Flicks Birdie's crown, and it's like, better luck next time, buddy.
Throws it on the ground.
Toron. Mountain. Gift. Mountain gift. Toronto gosh.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Thank you, friends. Thank you.
Friends.
Wop wop.
Wop.
Up,
There's a chorus from the two warriors and the chieftain. Whoop 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 whoop. It sort of echoes all around the cavern.
Well, that was unexpected.
And Baktu goes over and kind of pats the chieftain on the shoulder and gestures back to the cavern where the battle took place. And they all sort of nod and they kind of take their leave, bowing and gesturing to you guys as they sort of back their way up into the hall and head back towards whatever was back there.
Goodbye, friends. Wop wop.
Wop wop.
Wop wop.
Yeah, I will actually telepathically reach out to Baktu and say thank you, because I think he'll be able to understand me clearly with my telepathy.
He kind of follows behind the others, and as they all sort of turn, you do that, and you see him stop and kind of stand a little straighter. Turns back and looks at you. Sort of nods. Makes his way.
So that was an interesting turn of events.
Would it have killed you to just let me have that one? I mean,
Didn't know it was going to be gold staff. I'm sorry.
Can you guys imagine what kind of like mind fuck today has been? It started out they thought they like watched their friend get sacrificed and they all thought they were gonna die, and it ends with them like.
One of them almost did die.
Well, multiple of them did die.
Well,
but,
right. That's true.
but thinking you were gonna get killed, and then it turns out that there's these pale ass strangers who come and all of a sudden they're your god.
yeah, that's pretty
Pulling
wild.
shit from your ancestral home mountain.
We've just like really elevated their culture.
Yeah, this will go in the history books for sure.
Wop wop.
Bertie, I'm just so glad your friend was right about the treasure hidden in the mountain. I did not think there was going to be treasure like that in this cave.
Like, I don't make this stuff up, you
Yeah,
know?
well, I'm really sorry that he got killed by the Flame Legion, but he seemed like he was a well-informed man.
He's a cheeky son of a gun. If I know him, he probably found a way out.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, that guy's got 9 lives if I know him. So, you know.
Also, Alexa, I know I found this thing, but it's a staff of fire, which seems to be very much your kind of speed. If you would want to play around with it, I mean, if you don't want it, I'm happy to use it, but I know that you like to be kind of the fire person. It's a bit of your signature.
I suppose I could actually play around with it a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Although, I wonder how much useful fire will be in this area.
Oh, that's true. It might not be the most useful in the fight to come, but you know, if you still wanted to use it moving forward, it's all yours.
I appreciate it. No, I definitely will keep it on the table, so to speak.
Okay.
Well, I'll take it if you don't want it.
Oh no, well if Alexa doesn't want it, I mean I would use it. I just thought she should get first team. Unless you really wanted Brina, in which case that's cool too.
No, I didn't want it. It's fine.
Oh, did you want it as well, Bertie?
I said no, and
I'm sorry, I can be fourth in
no,
line.
I wasn't even in the line of succession there. So why bother?
Well, I just didn't
No,
think
it's
you would
fine.
want it.
It's fine. You know
seems
what,
a little
Galatar?
gaudy for
You know what, Galatar? It's fine.
It'll
just
probably
didn't-
burn your clothes anyway.
It didn't really go with your fashion style, you know? Like a black and gold with the pink just doesn't seem like it would work. there.
Bernie's walking out.
Oh.
Is he mad that I don't understand fashion?
From the identify spell that it has to be attuned by a druid, sorcerer, warlock, or wizard.
Yeah, he would know that, but he would
Yeah,
also
I'm just
feel
giving him
really
shit.
bad about the idea. That
Right?
Bernie doesn't know that though.
Yeah, you could try it. He's not going to correct him.
Bernie, you hear like muttering like stupid fucking staff from stupid fucking mountain Toronto gosh.
What?
You want
Whoop,
so
whoop
badly
in
now
Toronto.
by the end of this campaign for all of us to be gods to some people except for Bernie. Like just low key, everybody reveres people except for
Bernie
me.
would be such a good cult leader. Like if Bernie turned sour, that would be so good.
The cult of street children.
It would be like a self-healing, self-nurturing cult kind of thing.
Why is
This would
it
be like the Traveler, but more self-care oriented.
I'm just imagining
Self-indulgence
Bertie as a
instead
cult
of
leader
chaos.
being the evil woman from Emperor's New Groove, and he just has like one person like Kronk following him around.
That's Brina.
Bernie, I was gonna say,
And
yeah,
it's
Bernie.
Bertie's called as
Lever,
just
Brina.
Brina.
Wrong lever.
It's poison for
That-
Cusco.
That is
Specifically
the
for
most
Cusco. Cusco's
accurate
poison.
thing. I can completely see that happening at the end of the campaign as Bertie just gets Brina to do his bidding for the rest of their lives.
It's a partnership, a 50-50 split, okay?
Brina, get
A lot
out
of
of the
friends
fucking
along the
cave.
way.
Come on, we're leaving.
All right, later, guys.
Oh, later, Gales.
Oh, y'all are wild.
No, I take it back. I probably will attune to the Staff of Fire at the next opportunity.
Good, it seems super cool and totally.
So, yeah. I will keep it in my backpack for now.
Well, strap it onto your
The-
back.
Yes, because
Don't
I'm
just
sure
get a backpack.
it's not really a sure size at the moment. I'm sure.
Yeah. All right. As you stand here in the entryway to this cave, there. Yeah.
It's just sticking up out of Alexa's backpack like one of the tour guide flags.
At least I can't get lost
This is-
now.
It's fairly easy to wedge it between the pack and your back and like tie it to the straps like crossways,
Mm.
but it does stick out fairly high.
I could also just hold it for you till we stop, Alexa.
Yeah, I'll let Dorothy hold it.
Well, this way is more fun. I mean, it adds an interesting element to the adventure.
Well, I guess that brings me to my next question. Do we want to try and carry on with our travel today, or do we want to like get a little further then rest, or are we still wanting to take on the Flame Legion leader today?
Well, we should find more of those fuckers so Kala can lick their hands like we were supposed to be doing the whole time.
Yeah, what was that thing? It was super strange.
That was one of the God Forged.
Did we get all the
guys
hands
were
down
supposed
there?
to kill. There was just one.
Oh fuck! I forgot we're getting paid by the hand here.
Mm.
Oh wait, we're supposed to, the Godforged are the things we're supposed to kill?
And what about ears too? Am I making that up?
I don't
No.
think there were ears.
Okay,
Wasn't that a
don't- just
different
crazy.
time? Yeah.
No, that one's on me.
Yeah, the oh no, that's right, because Chandler, I think you didn't make the game where they were
I
talking
was
to Ritlock.
not there for the Black Citadel thing initially, no.
So
Yeah.
Ritlock, well, you're right. It wasn't Ritlock. It was at the Black Citadel. There is a
Mhm.
bounty
Oh.
for Geheron and for his right-hand man, the Hierophant Rendek Burnt Soul,
Uh-huh.
and a reward of I think 100 gold pieces for every right hand of a God-forged shaman, which is what the elite shamans of Balefire call themselves. They disfigure themselves in a magical ritual where they plunge their hands into lava. So like when you see, I don't know if you saw earlier, let me grab that guy's token again. One here and get rid of that little marker. Bring him up. Big map. So you zoom in, you can see his hands kind of glow.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so they're sort of like molten cinders, sort of like his clawed hands, and all the Godforged are like that. So the Citadel is collecting. If you bring them a right claw of a Godforged shaman, they'll give you. I think it was 100 gold.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
gotcha.
100 gold.
Okay, yeah, when you were saying Godforged before, I thought you were talking about the effigy. I didn't realize you were talking about the shaman.
That was just a burning effigy. This was the Godforged shaman.
Oh,
Channel
okay.
fire magic.
Cool.
They're almost, you can think of them kind of like warlocks of the Balefire.
So yeah, I say we keep taking our time and let's collect more hands. We need all the helping hands we can get along the way. Haha.
Some of the things you say are kind of scary.
It's better than being boring.
Well, that's true. You're definitely not boring.
We still have cloud mode activated, right? We just have to like wish ourselves back in clouds.
Yeah, how much longer do we have?
Like 7, well, like probably 4 hours.
How far away is the thing?
You could make it a day.
I mean, I'm only 2 slots down, so I'm feeling pretty good. If I don't know how the rest of you are feeling though.
Oh yeah, so it was gonna take you 4 hours of normal windwalk speed to get there, and you've used about 2. So 2 hours of travel through the air would get you there.
If we could rest for an hour and then travel, I think that would be best for me. And then Alexa could go ahead and attune.
I mean, do we feel like we can do the rest of the mission today? I don't even know what time of day it is now. Is it like afternoon? Is it mid-morning?
You've traveled for about 2 hours, so at this point it's probably about 10:30 in the morning, maybe 10:45.
And, oh, because we did leave, like, we spent the night at the fort. And okay, so it is like, it's not even lunchtime and we've already become gods.
Yeah.
High level D&D play.
All in a day's work.
I mean, yeah, if we feel good, we can continue.
I think maybe get closer and then rest.
Yeah, take a short rest
mean,
at
there's-
least.
Yeah, do you want to rest like here where we know it's safe and then like travel straight into the heart? That way we don't have to like uncloud and then potentially rest in a risky place close to the enemy, or
I will say, Kala, being familiar with the area around the cathedral, you know that it gets pretty inhospitable, and that patrols, from the flame are gonna be much thicker, closer to the fortress than they are all the way out here on the frontier.
Take a short rest here.
Yeah, I mean, I'll mostly be at full strength if we can just take a short rest.
It's fine with me.
Brina, I need you to cut me.
Why?
I can't really answer that question, but I need you to cut me.
What the fuck?
Um,
Is it a sex thing?
like
That's-
No, if we're gonna be resting, my blood wand will turn my blood energy into mana. So I need you to cut me.
the hell is a mana?
You want me
That
to
is a
shoot you
weird
with my
kink.
gun?
Can you not just like stab yourself?
Yeah, does it have to be?
I mean, I could, but it would be more effective if she did it.
I'm afraid that if I hit you with my sword, you'll die.
Well, come on now, we're practically gods.
Yeah, I got a big fucking sword though.
Enough for you to just run it across her palm.
Yeah, Brina will get her frostworm dagger out. It's a little more
It's a
putty.
sharp,
almost.
razor sharp frostworm
be-
fang.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy enough. Take a point of damage.
Enough
Just
to
cut
roll
her
hit
with the
dice.
dagger of wounding.
Keep with it.
You need to be hit more than that.
No, I just have to roll any hit dice in order to re-roll
Ah,
to gain back points.
Sorcerers are weird.
Are we
What you
okay?
gotta do
Stop.
sometimes.
Are we okay stopping here for the night on the short rest?
yes, it is. It is time to go to bed. Is there anything you guys want to do before you leave the cave, other than the short rest, or when we
Did
pick
we
up, are
get to
just gonna
see the
leave?
rest of the cave?
I don't know that anybody took the time to kind of look around the entirety of the big lava cave, and nobody took the center path to the tiny space here in the entryway. But other than that, yes.
We're taking an hour short rest.
Would walking around and like poking around be considered not resting?
If you need to take a short rest to heal and recover stuff, then yeah, you're gonna need to kind of stay in the entryway.
Okay. Let me double check. I was just curious. I mean, I'm sure it's just like they live here, but yeah, no, I'll take a short rest.
Anybody else? You guys all resting, staying in place?
Gotta rest.
Oh, one dude. Well, I'm fine, but he did honk my shit right up. Ouch.
I don't think your hit points updated on your token. I have 148.
Yeah, I haven't rolled yet.
Okay.
How many hit points do you have now, Paige?
195.
Oh, that is
Jesus.
sexy number.
That's so many.
More than most of the enemies that you're gonna have thrown at you.
It's so stupid.
Alright, new plan. We just let Brina and Kala fight the enemies, and the rest of us like just start drinking during
The
battle.
deceiving part, right, is because like you hear, like I kept looking at Brina, like Brina kept getting hit, and then I'd look at her like her health bar. I was like, oh damn, she's fine. Like she doesn't need healing. And like even unless I bring out like a big gun of healing, like it doesn't do that much for Brina.
Just like if it's like, oh no, I'm gonna hit. It's fine. It's fine. She's at this point with 200 HP. Just Do your worst.
And it's also like every time you get hit, Ryan has to calculate like quarter damage and
Half of
sometimes an
half.
eighth
yeah,
damage.
it's like all your damage is like reduced to like
He's
1/8
like,
or something.
oh, you took 40 points of fire damage, reduced to -6. You actually
Some of us out here live life on the edge, Paige. I got 16 AC, no resistances, no immunities. I got 136 hit points.
100
That's more than me, by the way.
half the way.
Yeah, plus you still have your cape of the dandy, don't you?
No,
No,
I'm
not
I'm
anymore.
equipped. I'm not equipped to that right now. I'm using the wand of paralysis.
Oh,
Like,
Which already came in handy.
that's
Yeah.
true. That was pretty clutch.
I felt like this one would be more of like a nice to stun a lot of enemies compared to
Save yourself.
save myself from one big enemy kind of thing was my kind of feeling. So
I think that's
Yeah.
good.
I'm sure I'll rotate them out. The Cape of the Dandy is clutch for dragon fights specifically.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, really.
That's just like a one turn.
DC 15
saving
con
throw.
save for a dragon is like a no contest. Like they're gonna pass on that. But so that's I'll switch it out for the next dragon thing hopefully.
It's okay. Maybe if you keep using it, Ryan will have to use up all 3 legendary resistances right away, and then
That's the thing I thought about. I was like, it could come in handy.
that's
One of
right.
these days.
This,
Alright,
this
guys,
was
I
an
gotta-
interesting thing to make because this was not meant to challenge like 20th level characters.
Oh
This,
yeah.
this was something you could have encountered earlier in the game.
Mm.
And so, you know, it was what it was, and I didn't upscale it for you guys. But there were so many enemies, I really thought they'd pose a little more threat. But like, half the time they couldn't reach half of you. And the only, like the real big heavy hitter was the effigy.
Mm.
The shaman had a good spell, but it rolled shit on the damage. It cast Firestorm, which was like 5d8 something over like 10-foot squares,
Yeah.
and it's like everybody took like 15 fire damage, and half of that was reduced, some
Yeah.
down to like a third of it. You know, so
Yeah.
it's like it's a little weird, but it wasn't supposed to be,
Yeah.
you know, a near-death experience for you guys. This is just the Trollskull
Yeah.
6 in the world now.
I liked
This
it,
doesn't
yeah.
keep
Fun
around.
I say it said it was
I
a
thought-
really fun combat.
No, I thought it was-
And I thought it was like a nice like manage your resources combat. Like you aren't in danger of losing, but also don't like go too ham on your spells.
Right, you don't have to use everything.
So,
The guy
I thought
who
the terrain was interesting. Anytime there's
Why
like a
did I put
lava
lava
pit, I'm
down?
like, there's a lava pit. Like,
yeah, well, I thought the lava pit would be fun.
Lava's always scary.
it always scares the shit out of me.
I think it's just fun to have like regular, not regular terrain, but varied terrain as compared to like you're just fighting on a field, or
It's just a perfectly
you're-
square room, and yeah.
you're inside this cave that's just a stone floor.
I agree.
Yeah, I thought it was
We're
fun.
recording here.
Indeed.